There you are. How are you today? Great.
With our heads bowed, please. Dear God, we come. And God, before we ask anything, we're careful to say, God, we thank you for another day's journey, God. And as we go into this board meeting, God, I ask you to send your divine guidance upon these leaders, God, of this prestigious university, God. Let them make the decisions, God, that you lead them to make as they affect homes, lives, the community of the students, the family, and the faculty, God. Guide them like only you're able to do. And Master, we pray for peace, love, and unity in this meeting, God. And if you do these things for us, we'll be reminded to give your name the glory, the honor, and all the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Now we're going to have our pledge of allegiance, guys. But I'm going to take a point of personal privilege to do something else as well that I've got permission from my chairman and vice chairman. Thank you, Chairman Clayton and Vice Chairman Abraham. We're going to have our pledge of allegiance done, you all, by our girls basketball team, Southern University Laboratory School. On Saturday, March 7th of 2026, the Southern University Laboratory School girls won the LHSAA Division IV state championship against J.S. Clark High School, named after our founder. This marks the third straight championship in a row in 4 and 5 years. You got to understand that when Coach Kiana Chaney first started at Southern Lab, we didn't even have a varsity team several years ago. This is the first under the guidance of Lab and SU alum Crystal Flowers, who I was also served as her team doctor when she was the head coach. Asia Patan earned her second championship game MVP award, scoring 13 points, averaging 21 points per game on the season. And may I also note that Asia Patan has scored over 2,500 career points in her career. Leading us in the pledge today is Kayla Brown, Caitlin Hawkins, Asia Patan, Delana Earl, Jayla Montgomery, Jamie Kane, Josie Selders, Corey Welcy, Sienna Jones, Michaela Price, Skylar Williams, Katie Carter, Catalina Buffington, Brielle Clark, Shelby Johnson, and Marley Amar. Assistant coaches include Jamar Flowers, Sean Morrison, and Shalonda George. The statisticians, Anaya Alexander, managers Ariel Leatherwood, Kennedy Johnson, and Anwar McKinney. And of course, they are led by our awesome director, Herman Brister. Ladies, you have the floor. Asia, how you doing? Good.
Clayton, Intern President McMeans, members of the board, and distinguished guests, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you.
Ladies, please don't leave yet. Chairman Clayton, I also like to mention that under the leadership of Coach Crystal Flowers and then previously Coach Kiana Chaney, again, 3 championships back-to-back, three-peat. You guys started off, with the legacy of saying that, hey, year 1, we set the tone. Year 2, what do we got? We second to none, right? 3, we became a dynasty. And 4, we are the standard. So I just want to applaud you guys for not just being athletes, but academians. You guys are amazing. And we have an upcoming crawfish board to honor not just you all, but our boys basketball team who became runner-up the last 2 years in a row. So everyone, please rise and give these young ladies a hand. Chairman Clayton, anything you want to say to the ladies?
Young ladies, as the chairman of your board, this meeting is being broadcast around the entire nation. So you're being watched by the entire nation, including the Jaguar Nation. The foundation that you have laid, these 3 statewide championships, will allow you and the rest of the students at Southern Lab to serve as you to serve as the aircraft carrier for those kids to continue to launch off the type of careers and scholarship that you guys are doing. We're so proud of you. So I'm going to yield to some of my other colleagues on the board to show their appreciation to how proud you've made this university. Anyone would like to say anything to these young ladies? We're so proud of you.
Des Moines, you're not invited, man.
Think y'all can compete on NCAA level right now? I figured you.
Unfortunately, Tony, Asia's going to, I think, McNeese. I'm going to talk to Coach Funt to see if we can pull something off, but it might be too late, but we sure would love to have over here.
All of y'all should stay with us. Thank y'all so much for what you're doing. And Dr. Whitfield, thank you for always acknowledging our children over at the lab school. You guys are simply the best.
The best? We appreciate you guys. Thank
Love
you.
y'all. Thank you.
Now, Tony, I promise, Chairman Emeritus Des Moines, he always has an issue with me when I talk, but I'm going to take a point of personal privilege today to do one more thing, and then I'm going to get out of your hair. My brother-in-law, well, former future brother-in-law, my sister-in-law getting married today, so I'm going to leave early with you guys. But I'd like to take this point of personal privilege to introduce someone. Southern University in April will be hosting the National Medical Association Region 5 Conference, April 12th through the 16th. And this is significant for many reasons. This will be the first time the conference is ever held on the HBCU campus. And we're expecting approximately 200 physicians and healthcare professionals from across Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. The conference will be held here at the Leon Tarver Center. And this is more about a conference. This is about health equity, physician leadership, and advancing care in our communities. And to share more about this historic opportunity, it is my honor to introduce Executive Director of the National Medical Association, Region 5, Mr. Dexter Lewis. Dexter, are you in the building?
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to JAG Nation. I'm Derek Lewis. I'm the Executive Director for the National Medical Association, Region 5. We have 9 states. Louisiana is one of my states, and I'm here quite a bit. And I'm just honored this morning to be before this great body, this governing body, to the chair and to the president, and all the leadership that is here at Southern. As Dr. Whitfield has shared, the National Medical Association, which is 130. Thinking about scholarships and internships, thinking about how we can do mentorships with your programs, boosting up your pre-med, and working with your pre-med advisors. And so we want to make sure that we don't leave you empty-handed when we come. We want to bring resources, we want to bring talent. And many of our physicians are part of many of your graduates are part of our organization. Obviously, Dr. Whitfield, Dr. Maurice Schollers, Dr. Shaman Johnson are just a few that are leading healthcare in your state. And we want to make sure that we show them that the honor that this organization has put together. I'll leave this and I'll leave it alone. Both our organizations, our national president will be on campus as well. Dr. Whitfield will be doing an interview with him on Friday, April 10th. His theme this year is Reconstruction of Healthcare. Both our organizations were created in the Reconstruction period. And so one of the things we want to think about is how do we honor that tradition, but also how do we collaborate? And I think that's what was done during that time. And so I appreciate your time this morning. I thank you for what you're doing that weekend on April 9th through 20th.
Dexter, I think Tony, are y'all doing a little contribution to the university as well during that time?
You read my mind. It's money from your doctors.
So we've employed an intern since we started this program. We're creating ways that we can put dollars into the program by various ways. We're working with Dr. Brown and others to do that. I do want to shout out to Kayla Chambers and Chris Levy, who've been very instrumental in connecting us. So yes, we will leave some scholarship dollars here if that is the question.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Doc. Appreciate you. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Dick.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Doc. You can sneak out now. We're not looking.
I got permission from Bradley.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Chancellor Pierre, the Above and Beyond Award. Who do we have today to present that? Oh, that's the law school. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Chairman and board members. It's with great honor we recognize a visionary leader, an innovative scholar, and a relentless advocate for student success. With more than 24 years of distinguished service in higher education, our recipient embodies excellence across every dimension of academia. She holds a PhD in education and advanced postdoctoral studies in strategic communication and graduate training in communication disorders and speech-language pathology. She has built a career rooted in knowledge, innovation, and transformative impact. She serves as the director of the career services at the Southern University Law Center, and she's an adjunct professor. She has redefined what it means to prepare students for success. She has transformed our career services office from a traditional support office into a dynamic engine for student success, professional identity development, and institutional excellence. She does not simply guide careers, she builds confidence, cultivates purpose, and empowers individuals to see themselves as leaders in an ever-evolving professional landscape. She goes above and beyond by being deeply intentional about outcomes and not just access. Through innovative programming, individualized coaching, and AI-driven career development strategies, she meets students where they are and moves them forward with purpose. She invests in understanding each student's journey, helping them craft powerful personal brands, sharpen their professional narratives, and approach the job market with clarity and confidence. Her leadership has also produced measurable excellence at the highest level. Under her direction, the Southern University Law Center Office of Career Service achieved full compliance determination from the American Bar Association following its audit for the class of 2024 employment questionnaire, an extraordinary accomplishment with no warnings, no elevated reviews, and no recommendations for improvement. This milestone reflects her precision, her strategic vision, and her unwavering commitment to institutional integrity and student outcome. Beyond compliance and programming, Dr. Melanie Ray extends her impact through meaningful engagement through alums, employers, and professional networks. In every aspect of her work, Dr. Ray exemplifies what truly means to go above and beyond, leading with vision, executing with excellence, and always placing student success at her center. For her leadership, innovation, and unwavering commitment and excellence, it's our privilege that the Southern University Law Center present the Above and Beyond Award to Dr. Melanie Ray.
Good morning. So I didn't know why I was coming here today, and they had a nice ruse to get me here. So I just want to say thank you so much, Vice Chancellor Woods. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, Chancellor Washington. I appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to Dr. Ebanks, Ms. Rainey, and in the Office of Career Services, because no one does that alone. And it is truly a team effort, and I really am grateful to them. And thank you to my husband, who also told a fib to get me here as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the board. I really appreciate it. Yes, he is.
What's that? 160. Yeah.
And to your husband for loaning you to us every day. Thank you. Congratulations. You too, sir. Next is my home lady, Miss Linda Johnson. Is she here? Hey, there you are. Morning, Miss Johnson. Former Bessie board member from my area, first elected African American to that seat. And this lady is a trailblazer in civil rights. September of 1963, they led a civil rights march in Plaquemine, in which she was involved, where we got national attention. It was the inaugural edition of CBS News with Walter Cronkite, and that's the breaking story on that day. And this lady here was behind that march and that fight. Welcome to Southern University, and tell us what you have.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Jaguars. Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is a pleasure to be here to make a presentation to you. I'd like for the video that we've put together for you all to watch it. It's a little over a minute, and then I will talk to you about why we have put this together.
Southern University royalty is inheritance shaped.
Thank you so much. That's the video that's launching today. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me tell you who we are. We are Southern University women. We are Southern University graduates. We put together a strategic committee back in November at the Bayou Classic, and we have been working diligently to do this. Why? Back when Kamala Harris ran, she put together 40,000 people on a video, and that impressed me. So I figured we can at least put together 10,000 Southern University women, 10,000 women who will be committed, 10,000 women who will be on the same mission, 10,000 women who will bring forth, just like the group that just left, funds to Southern University. Yes, we want to fund women scholars. So that's the purpose. We also want it to be perpetual. One of the other things that we've done, because I know you probably are wondering why we're here, well, we are royalty, the Southern royalty, and the reason why we're Southern royalty is because of the video you just saw. All of the Southern women are royal ladies. And we are women who have made careers. This university provided us with an opportunity to be successful and to have like the video showed, to have women from all across. We feel like that there are women across the world who will join this particular movement. So it is a movement. It is about purpose. Our purpose is to increase the enrollment of women at Southern University. Don't really have to do that too much because 77% of the women on this campus, of the students on this campus, are women. We just want more of them on this campus. Also, we take pride in I'm a first generation graduate of this university. So I take pride in that and what this university did for me. One of the other things, we are about philanthropy. We know that the only way that this will work is for us to put dollars into it. So yes, all of you who are sitting around here, I love you. I do want your money too, just so you'll know it. It's not just about women. It's about us making sure that we get what we need. One of the other things that we want to talk about, we're going to our celebration ends. We will have our $1 million by October, and we will have a celebration at the Valdry Center. The reason why we're trying to push this so fast is because we want to make sure that for January and for next year, we have enough funds to fund scholarships for high-performing students. That is another thing that we are engaged with. We are also trying to always talk to high school students and to recruit them to our university. We want them to be educators. Of course, we want a college of education, so we want to train plenty of teachers because we know that teachers are a major need in America. One of the other things that we're trying to do is to talk to you. What we're asking you for, we want you to support this particular initiative. And as the chairman said, it is being shown all over America. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We hope it is shown all over America and that people will see it and that you will endorse what we are trying to do here for our university. I'd like for you to meet some of the people on our strategic committee because some of them are here with us. I'm going to ask them to stand. Stand up, ladies. Stand up, all of you. We started off with about 12 young women who met every other Tuesday to put this together. We also have a couple of men who have been very supportive of us, Dexter Henderson and James Brown. This idea is something that we know will work. And we know that putting monies together, having our people and engaging our women across the country, because there are women who went to Southern University and they may not have any other connection with it today, but once they see this, they will want to be a part of it. So that's the goal for it. And I appreciate y'all allowing us to make this presentation to you. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I'll do my best.
Ms. Johnson, so 10,000 ladies make a commitment of 1,000 apiece to get to the million?
That gets to the million. I'm saying that gets to the 10 million. But we know that there are some women who will make more than $1,000. We have some awards for 25,000, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, and then you can give whatever you can.
Well, I know a non-female would participate in that.
You know, a non-female.
That would be myself.
But okay, I'll take your dollars too.
That could have gone any, I guess.
That's why I had to ask you.
Yeah, but stop. What you're doing is awesome, and I hope you guys try to match that because it's all about Southern. And I didn't know until my colleague just said, I was thinking 10,000 times 1,000 was $1 million, but it's 10 million. It's 10 million. And we can easily do that. Yeah. And but thank you for starting this initiative. And you have been to my office. You've been on top of this for months, and we just love you, and we appreciate what you're doing for this school. And I can't wait to see you and the Ann Smiths and the Maple Gaines and ladies like that, Zale, join with you on this type of deal. And I think it's going to be trend-setting.
It is going to be trend-setting, and I appreciate it. And also, it's 10 to the fourth power if you're a mathematician.
No, I'm not.
That's how we got to the 10,000.
I still don't know what X is. I don't know why I took algebra, but
that's
thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you all so much for allowing us to make this presentation.
Thanks so much. Item G, presentation of the United Negro College Fund Target Scholarship, Baton Rouge.
Good morning, Chairman Clayton, Vice Chairman Abraham, President McMeans. I am proud today to recognize some of the work that we've been doing at Southern University. Target with the United Negro College Fund put out an opportunity for our students to participate in several universities to participate in their scholarship program. And because of the work of Dr. Brian Adams, Dean Mackey, and Mr. Elder Jackson, we were able to get 69 of our students to apply for those scholarships. They were very impressed. They actually awarded 23 of the 69. We were the highest number of awardees of schools. And then we learned just through some historical research that we had other students that were scholars under this particular scholarship, and the scholarship is for $10,000. And that at Southern University is a significant amount of money. And more importantly, we had parents thanking our folks for helping their children achieve those opportunities and, quote, dragging them across the finish line. So I'd like for those individuals who I just mentioned to come forward, as well as those scholars. We actually had 41 total on this campus. 7 of them graduated in December, and we were able to bring those together. And I think you'll like to see how impressive these young men and women are. And more importantly, they embody what we try to do here at Southern University, which is to open up access and opportunities to so many students and to show the world what can be done when we all work together. And I thought this would be an appropriate time to recognize them, for everyone to see who they are. This is what Southern University represents. Dr. Adams?
Board members, Interim President McMeans. We currently have 33 students now that are part of the program. 7 of those students graduated in the fall of 2025. In addition to providing the scholarship dollars, they're also providing professional development. So UNCF and Target are on campus all during the semester working with our students. In addition to that, 11 of our students got selected to participate in a program in Washington, D.C. over the summer, which the program will pay for all of their expenses to and from Washington, D.C. The program had 50 slots allocated for the 6 schools. Southern University got 11 of the 60 slots. 50 slots, 11 of the 50 slots. So we have the largest number of students who will be in Washington, D.C. participating in the program. We also had Dean Mackey and Mr. Jackson and Dr. Franklin Soares from UNCF, who worked with our students to get them to apply, helping them with the application process, making sure they got all of the information in, got that information in on a timely basis. We really want to thank you for allowing us to come forth and congratulate our students publicly and acknowledge them publicly. Thank you.
Mr. Adams, I want that young man with that gray jacket and the little lady to his left or right come up to the microphone, each of you. Tell us what this scholarship, you man with the burgundy and the other young man, the tall one. Why don't you tell the board what this scholarship means to you?
Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning. What's your
My
name?
name is Jamira Parker. I'm from New Roads, Louisiana. I'm a senior major in business management and finance. And with this scholarship, it's opened a door for me to be able to pursue my education. I am fueled to be able to become an attorney one day. So it's just a ability so that I'm able to fuel that dream. So it's just a way to be able to provide myself with the resources of multiple people, networking, and the funds as well.
Well, I happen to know the district attorney from New Roads, and
Hey, Mr. Clayton.
come on up, come talk to me about a job when you finish.
You already talked to me about
Oh, I
it.
thought you were good. Young man, tell me tell us what this scholarship means to you.
Good morning. I am Eric Perry, a junior majoring in business management and marketing with a concentration in entrepreneurship from New Iberia, Louisiana. And this scholarship gives me the success and exposure to become a better man and fulfill my dreams of becoming a serial entrepreneur after college.
You know what? I hope the board doesn't get mad at me, and they won't. But let's hear from all of you guys. Tell us about your experience with this scholarship.
Good morning, everyone. I am
You
Shayla
related to
Allen.
Myron Lawson?
I am Shayla Allen, a junior major in accounting with a minor in dance from Bainbridge, Georgia. And this scholarship has opened my eyes and reassured me that I do have more opportunities waiting for me. It helped me to get the opportunity to grow my character development and to make better connections with people all around the world.
Wow. Next.
Good morning, everyone. I am Breland Windsor Jackson, a junior majoring in marketing with a concentration in sports marketing and a minor in public relations. This scholarship gives me access to so many opportunities, a lot of resources that they have that help us with our professional development. Also, just being able to network with my peers and make connections in that way. And then, of course, the funds to just be able to focus on my education and have those resources to further my professional development.
Hi everyone, my name is Micaiah Jackson and I'm a junior double majoring in marketing and business management, and I'm from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. And being given the scholarship, I just feel like it opened doors for me to learn like more about leadership skills and then hopefully help me to like be able to give back to my community.
Good morning. My name is Kennedy Norris. I'm from Shreveport and I'm a junior majoring in business finance and accounting. And just having this scholarship is giving me multiple opportunities. But aside from that, like Dr. Adams mentioned, I am one of the ones that will be going to Washington. And just being able to go, being from Louisiana, it's kind of like, I guess I just never pictured being able to do this, being able to go to that side and experience that. So I'm super excited about the opportunity.
You guys are extremely articulate. Keep coming.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Janicia Stone. I am a senior majoring in business management with a concentration in human resources from Tallahassee, Florida. And this scholarship has given me access to not only help me endure my education expenses for my years of college, but also share this opportunity with my fellow peers to show that not only myself, but other students out there, that there are opportunities out there for you to help finish college and also getting professional development, not only with inside Southern University, but outside of Southern University as well.
Absolutely. Next.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Caleb Davison, a senior mechanical engineer major from Alexandria, Louisiana. And this scholarship to me means a lot. It has opened plenty of doors as long as networking and alleviating financial stress and allowing me to focus on my studies to become a mechanical engineer.
Right.
Chairman?
Yes, sir.
He did say Alexandria.
He did. He did.
Top-ranked quarterback in the state of Louisiana, 4.0 student, and didn't want to play football at Southern, but he's a great student.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good morning. My name is Darren Gardner from Opelousas, Louisiana, majoring in computer science. This scholarship has helped me relieve the financial stress of college, and I hope one day that it helps me become a professor at this university.
Awesome.
Good morning. My name is Ivan Anderson. I'm a junior major in business management from St. James, Louisiana. And this scholarship has relieved me of financial stress during my years here and opened my door for me to become an HR manager. And I'm also going to Washington, D.C. for the conference as well. That opened the door to network and hopefully more doors for my opportunities in the future.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Les Thomas. I am a junior majoring in finance from New Orleans, Louisiana. And one thing I'm grateful for the scholarship is basically just building my financial literacy skills. After graduating, I plan on becoming a financial analyst. And by me getting this experience as far as with my financial literacy skills right now, it prepares me for the real world jobs when I graduate. So, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaliyah Beal. I'm a junior finance major from Roswell, Georgia, and I also serve as the junior class president for this academic year. One of the things that the scholarship helps me with, not only just like taking the financial burden off of me to focus on my studies, but it also allows me to serve in leadership roles. Along with that, I really do enjoy just the professional development behind the financial literacy calls, the visits that the Target Scholarship makes to campus for like yoga sessions that they hold, and just the community that it creates.
All right. You're the last one. You got to bring it home.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joya Anthony. I'm a junior business management student from here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This this scholarship empowers me, especially being a woman business student. It goes beyond the financial stress relief. It makes me feel prepared to enter this world and achieve anything that I set my mind to. Thank you.
Board, this is why we're here, because of you guys. Congratulations. Thank you. Back to you, Chancellor.
I just want to say this. This could not be done without the teamwork. Dr. Soares, I didn't realize he was going to be here. I'd like for him, he has been a very important partner for us at Southern University. If you don't mind just sharing a little bit with the board.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Franklin Soares. I'm a representative for United Negro College Fund. I'm also a partner with Target Program Enterprise in Minneapolis, Minnesota. this program has just not started this year. This program started in COVID in 2021, where we Target in Southern, we were invested in our students. And one thing Dr. Lomax is very intentional about is that he wants us to get to and through college, our students. We're about retention, matriculation, and college success. And as you can see, we had a first cohort that we graduated a tremendous amount of students, and now we are excited about these new students. And Target's invested more than ever to make sure that these students not just graduate, but get workforce development and jobs after college. So thank you for your support. We love our students at Southern, and keep up the great work to our students. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all again.
So again, thank you, Chairman Clayton, because this is what Southern University is about. This is exactly what Southern University is about.
Before you leave, Board Member Chris Bassengill wants to address you guys. So look back, students, for a second.
No, it's perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to let these incredible young people know I've got 2 paid summer internships. So if you're business management or entrepreneurship and you'd like to talk to me about that, I've got 2 of them, and I'll dedicate it to Southern University.
Before we go to any other business, I'm going to recognize my Vice Chair, Mr. Reggie Abraham.
If we have one more special recognition, I'm sorry, students, you guys can sit down.
Thank you, guys.
We have one more special recognition at this time. We have 3 distinguished individuals here with us on this morning. They are with the Thurgood Marshall Executive Search Firm. This is the firm that we secured their services to facilitate this presidential search process for us. I'd like for each one of them to come forward, or collectively all 3 to come forward to the mic, introduce themselves, and very briefly, Mr. Chairman, give us a little bit of information regarding their organization.
I heard you as they walk up Thurgood Marshall. My son, TJ, and Des Moines' son, Darren, are debating or going up against Thurgood Marshall tonight in a debate. Our 2 boys are at UT Law School and Thurgood Marshall, and I think our boys are going to win. So I'm cheering for them. Thank y'all, and Mr. Reggie, your folks.
Morning.
Wonderful. Good morning, good morning, good morning to the distinguished board, the board leadership, and to President McMeans. We are TM Squared Executive Search. My name is Dr. Amanda Washington Lockett. One of the words that we've talked about a lot is alignment. So I'd like to open our introduction of TM Squared with just a very brief point of what I believe to be alignment. So over 100 years ago, but almost 101 years to this day, my great-great-grandfather, Booker T. Washington, came to Southern University, sat with Dr. J.S. Clark to talk about the steps forward for Southern University.
Wait, let's give her a round of applause. Come on, that's awesome. Wow, that's awesome.
So it was on that date, April 15th, 1915, that they discussed the next step and the next journey. Today, our team, TM Squared Executive Search, is here to discuss the next step and the next journey for your next system level president. We believe that we have the tools necessary. We believe that we have the experience necessary to bring you all's next system level president. Very briefly, by way of introduction, I'm a very proud Spelman College graduate. I am a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania, where I received my PhD in higher education, organizational effectiveness, and specifically focusing on HBCU leadership and sustainability. I've received my degree in policy from Columbia University, but at the very end of all of that, and my team can keep me honest, I am an HBCU graduate, a Bison baby. My grandparents went to Howard University, to Hampton University, and to Fisk University. I have HBCUs through and through my blood, and I'm so honored to be working with you all today. I would be remiss if I did not allow our team to introduce themselves as well. It's an honor to work with you all. Thank you so much for the privilege, and we look forward to working with you and finding your next system level president.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Horton. I'm an executive recruiter and consultant with TM Squared Executive Search. My journey started in the classroom. I was a first grade teacher before transitioning into higher education by way of Bethune-Cookman University, where I was a graduate assistant in student affairs, res life, you name it, I did it. And for a brief spell, I worked in institutional advancement at Dillard University before going back to student affairs and then eventually transitioning into human resources. Around 2020, like a lot of folks, I decided to make a pivot and go into human resources. And so I've spent some time working both stateside and in Canada on executive search with higher education institutions as well as nonprofits. And it is an honor and really a dream to be able to bring all of those skills back to working with HBCUs on executive placement. So really a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Will Anu. I am a proud graduate of North Carolina Central University, where I obtained both my undergraduate as well as my master's degree before going on to serve in the Office of the White House Initiative for Educational Excellence for African Americans under the Obama administration. Post that, went on to receive my doctorate at the University of Pennsylvania with a focus on minority service institution administration and student development. From there, started my executive search career working for large firms that served T50 institutions, went on to private sector and venture capital, executive search, went on to the tech sector, and now back in what I truly love and enjoy is doing executive search for institutions like the one that gave me an opportunity. So really excited about this opportunity, really excited about finding you all a phenomenal leader and ensuring that Southern is not only the best kept secret, but Southern is the standard. Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much. We've had the great privilege of attending and going to each of your 5 campuses for a listening tour in which we've engaged with over 300 of you all's community members. We look forward to continuing and being in very good communication with each of you as we work on this search. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before you sit down, we have a couple of comments, Mr. President.
Is this on? Okay. Good. First of all, I want to say thank you. And I was talking to Ms. Gaines, one of our board members earlier. You guys are helping us with a search right now for our Chief Information Officer. And it's been very rare that you have started off with over 100 individuals who are all qualified. And now we're down to the end, and we will present hopefully in April. I remember when you guys started. I don't know if you may not remember when you all started. But I just want to thank you guys. You've been tremendous to work with, and I thank you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. Thank you. Interestingly enough, I had a great experience. My son attended the leadership conference twice when he was chief of staff, I think his junior and his senior year, and I saw all kind of remarkable things happen as a result of that. And he strongly suggested that we start considering this firm, and interestingly enough, that's the firm that was selected. So not only do you do good work, I see the work that you do paying off in my household. So I want to say personally, thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again. We look forward to continuing this work that you and the search committee is going to be undergoing. Members of the board, they will be contacting you directly. So we thought it was important for you guys to know, put a face with the name when you are contacted by the search firm. So thank you again.
Thank you all. Thank you for your time.
All right, members, I'm going to take over for the chairman for a brief moment. I think that brings the Special Recognition Committee to an end. Do we have a motion for adjournment? It's been moved and properly second. The Special Recognition Committee is now adjourned. We'll move now to the Academic Affairs Committee. We have Ms. Ann Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Academic Affairs Committee is now called to order. Roll call, please, Mr. President.
Mrs. Ann Smith.
Present.
Ms. Maple Gaines. Mrs. Zell Dudley. Mr. Myron K. Lawson.
Present.
Mr. Henry Whitehorn. Mr. Aaron Manzi. Mr. Chris Massengale. Reverend Dr. Samuel Tolbert. Attorney Tony Clayton. You have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Adoption of agenda. Can I get a motion? It has been moved and second that we adopt the agenda as written. I had one public comment in which we will not be able to recognize because it is not on agenda today. So we will move forward. Action items. First of all, I would just like to say, this has been an eye awakener for all of us today as far as our previous activities that we've had and we've listened to today. Thank you for that. Because on academic affairs, I had all of these things and some more in mind to talk about today, but they have kind of liquidated it, and I'm going to be more short, more brief than I would have been because much has been covered. But I would just like to say today, I'm wearing a green jacket, and it came from the College of Agriculture. And the reason for that is because in my mind, I had so much to say about grow jags. Grow jags. This is a Jaguar green jacket, and it does mean that the Jaguars are growing here, and you've already been presented with the growth. It started under our, at that time, he was our chancellor for the Ag Center, Dr. McMeans, and his administrative staff. They said that they were growing jags as well as all of the other agriculture events that's going on over there. So I was gonna, and I'm still gonna quickly say it, I was gonna say we are growing, and Ms. Linda Johnson started that today, and I was just amazed to hear her say how we are even thinking about additional growth. We've grown on last night, our Jaguar girls, ladies, you know what they did. They just ironed out things and made it easy for us today. And of course, then came our Southern University Laboratory females who have been growing jags, and now they are multiplying jags, and they are multiplying championships. The next thing was Dean Mackey and the Honors College. In talking and listening, I heard that our Jaguars, our honor Jags, had gone from 60 to 170 in just a short time over at the College of Honors College. So, I mean, that was a big honor. And now look what we have. Today we had the presentation, and I'm sure many of those students came from the Honors College. So there again, that was another big issue. And of course, I heard this on national media, Southern University's nursing school, who is again in charge of a woman is in charge, woman's in charge of growing up the top Jags here too, a dean. No offense, this is women's.
It is Women's Month there,
No
Member
offense.
Smith. Appreciate that.
Dean Brown, who has gotten National School of Nursing for the second time, 2 consecutive years. So let's give them a big hand. And here again, in my green Grow Jags blazer today, we're going to be growing some more as we unfold this academic affairs committee. You will see that some added wisdom is coming right back into the agriculture, School of Agriculture. So now I've done my thing. I made it short. At this time, we're going to take action items, and it's going to be, I'm going to turn that over to Chancellor Pierre.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith, Chair Emeritus. Again, welcome to all the board members. This morning, I'm very proud to have recommended the approval of Professor Emeritus status for Dr. Leroy Davis. And this is a collaborative event because the College of Agriculture, Environmental, and Human Sciences, recognize how important he has been to Southern University and A&M College, Interim Dean Marshall, of course, Chancellor McMean, and Dr. Walker, and myself, recognizing how important his contributions have been, being the son of a sugarcane farmer and having been blessed with the wisdom of Dr. Davis and his leadership and his historical accomplishments. So it is easy for me today to ask this board to recognize Dr. Davis, who has had a distinguished career as an academic leader that spans back to 1972. He's been a transformational academic leader as well as a transformational public servant. And because of his exemplary and historic career as a servant leader, I ask this board to confer him this honor of Professor Emeritus upon the recommendation of Dr. Renita Marshall. And this, I believe, is one of the high honors that we can confer upon Dr. Davis, given the history of Southern University as a land-grant institution.
It has been moved and second. Any opposition? Motion carries. Dr. Leroy Davis. And if you will, can I just, well, we'll go with number 2, and then I'm going to ask that Dr. Davis just have a brief words or remarks. Let's go to number 2, approval, request approval of the faculty handbook for Southern University of Shreveport. Can I get a motion? It has been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Ayes have it. And at this time, before we go to, do we have informational items? Any? None. No other business. I would like our other business to become comments from our man of wisdom. Pardon? Yes.
From Dr. Gant, but you mentioned some of the accolades of the Southern University athletes that have been crowned champions. I also want to mention that at Southern Shreveport, they were also conference champions in basketball for the 25-26 year.
Go Jags. Any other business? If not, at this time, we will have Dr. Leroy Davis come forward and make remarks.
To honorable board members, Vice Chair and Chair, I think the Chair left. He didn't want to hear from me, so he left. But anyway, thank you to Chancellor Pierre, certainly Interim President Dr. McMeans, to the Dean of the College of Agriculture, Family and Consumer Sciences. Thank you very much. It is an honor and a privilege. Oh, there you are. It's good seeing you. But anyway, I am honored and pleased to be associated with Southern University as a professor again. And let me just give one tidbit. I was a graduate student at the University of Illinois, and Dr. Hezekiah Jackson, the dean, came visiting. And I was set on going to Milwaukee and be a vice president of a beer company. But Dr. Jackson made an impression on me. I had a big old afro, believe it or not, and a dashiki. And Dr. Jackson acted as if he didn't notice it. And that left an impression. I said, Southern University got something going. And I didn't know much about Southern other than when I was an undergrad student at Arkansas Pine Bluff. I was the business manager for the student government, and we came here on for a football game, which you guys won. But anyway, it was Lionel Hampton's, and they had all of these bands, and I was exceedingly impressed with this campus. So it has been a long time since I've been on this campus. I raised my family. I spent, by the way, my lovely wife is with me, Elaine Davis.
Please stand.
Okay.
Let us see you.
Yeah, she got her plus 30 here and retired from the Louisiana Department of Education. Thank you, Southern, for that. And I just want to say to you, thank you very much. I raised my sons here, and I heard that the National Medical Association meeting, I hope that both of them can come back and see what Southern is doing. So I just want to say to you all, keep on growing. Just keep growing and growing. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, Ann Smith, thank you. And I sit on this board for 6 years. And that also was a great privilege. So thank you all for everything you've done for the Davis family.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. And
Oh, this is like the Academy Award. Oh, why, my goodness.
okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Davis.
Board,
If we have
Chair, you want the entire board?
any comments,
Let's take a picture of the entire board, if you don't
Okay.
mind. I think this is a significant moment for us.
Great.
and if there is no other business, I would like to get a motion to adjourn. It has been moved and second that we adjourn. Thank you.
I guess the chairman's still out. Thank you, Member Smith. We'll move now to the Facilities and Property Committee. Great Reverend Donald Ray Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. At this time, we will call the Facility and Property Committee to order. Mr. President, roll call. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Donald Ray Henry,
Here, sir.
Ms. Babel Gaines, Mrs. Zell Dudley, Mr. Chris Massengill, Mr. Paul Matthews, Attorney DeMorne Rutledge, Attorney Edwin Shorty, Mrs. Ann Smith,
Present.
Dr. Ronnie Whitfield, Attorney Tony Clayton. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, we will have any public comments. Do we have any public comments? Going once, going twice. Seeing that there's no public comments, we're going to move to item E, informational items. And at this time, Mr. Ken Dawson will give us an update on our facilities.
Mr. Henry, I want to thank everybody, the president, chair, vice chair, and this illustrious board. I always say it's a good idea just to give some pictures of where we are and what we've been doing. So let's just go through something. This is the actual rendition or of the STEM building, just to tell you where we are now. You can see that we have steel going up. We have several floors being installed. We had a topping ceremony a few weeks ago where the last piece of steel, major pieces of steel, was placed. It was a ceremony to do that, so that project is going well. Today you have something happening. This is a conceptual of the outdoor classroom, and of course, if you see it, that project is done. We have a ribbon cutting today. I'm very happy about it, and I got to say this. We have a Lawson gentleman that really was instrumental in making sure that the vision for these kind of projects, not using state dollars, but using what we call fees and self-generated to get it done. So and that's Mr. Huey Lawson, classmate of mine in engineering, and we're very happy to see that. Another project that was done with not state dollars, but fees and self-generated, the Global Innovation Center. You can see it kind of looks like I did on the picture, didn't it? So a very good job with that project. We'll be having a ribbon cutting on that probably toward the end of the month. And when you think the outside looks great, when you go inside, you're going to really be impressed as well. Next project is the police station. There will be a ribbon cutting happening soon on that. I know that the chief and those are preparing or are moving in. And of course, that's the project that you see there that's completed. The Law Cleaner project, we have the annex is being built, and as you can see, we have vertical construction happening on that project. So we have projects moving forward that we're very happy about. The high-tech meat lab, Dr. Walker is going to be so happy that I mentioned that. That project just got, the contractors are out there doing it. You see the contractor fencing around the project. That project is moving forward, which is going to be a renovation to the meat lab. As you can see, the top part of the poultry lab, it looked kind of bad. I will repeat what Dr. Walker always said, that when he passed that, they called it the slave quarters at one time because of the way that it looked. But you can see the change in that particular building. It has been a renovation both exteriorly and interiorly, and it looks wonderful. At SUNO, the SUNO Nursing School, that project is moving forward. You can see the construction, the foundation coming out of the ground. We should see some vertical construction happening on that pretty soon, and that's at SUNO. And of course, the gymnasium at Sussex. I know Dr. Gandy is happy, especially when we got steel and we started seeing things going in there. So took a while because the steel was delayed for a period of time. So we're very happy about what we have going on there. And I always want to bring pictures. I know board members, you don't have a chance to get around to all the campuses. So sometimes just showing you pictures of the status, brings it to light. And I know that chair of facility definitely reminded me that we have to do that. Okay. Just a couple other things I want to bring to your attention. As I said, we have a ribbon cutting today at the Outdoor Classroom Amphitheater. We also have soon the Global Innovation ribbon cutting toward the end of the month in public safety, as well as on T.H. Harris. So those projects for ribbon cutting will be happening soon. The business building. I just got promoted. At least the dean of business seems to like me now. He didn't like me too much at first because he said we didn't have a building. But now since we have a building, I guess he left. See, we have a building coming up. But that building, we're looking at bidding that building soon. In fact, by April, we expect to have the contractor out on site. So the contractor will be mobilized and the business building will be constructed. So we're very happy about that. J.K. Haynes Nursing School addition, that's another project that we'll be bidding in April. So we will have a contractor selected for that project very soon. The A.O. Williams project, and I know that our interim president and chancellor, the A.O. Williams project, they're still dealing with the building itself. That project's going to cost a lot of dollars to renovate, but we are starting the project to do the temporary labs and the offices that it was agreed to. So they're already working on the site for that project now. The Lewis Collier bill, I want to say to Chancellor Gantz, you're going to be glad to hear this. We had the Architectural Selection Committee on Monday, or Tuesday, one day. They all run together for a while, but our architect has been selected for that committee. The contract has already been provided to the architect, so we will be going through programming and planning for Lewis Collier. And Lewis Collier, the goal is to demo the current building and build a new science building at the Sussex campus. So I'm happy about that, absolutely. The mega shelter. Let me just tell a little bit about the mega shelter, and I talked to our vice chair about that, and we're trying to move forward with that particular project. We're still trying to get some dollars straight. FEMA has allocated money, about $15 million for the project. We don't want the money to go back, but we have some things that have to be done to extend the length of the project, and we're working on that. So I think that's about it from that aspect of the things that I want to say. One more thing I want to talk about, and that's Act 751. We had a meeting. President McMeans was there. My boss, Mr. McClinton, we had a meeting with the Speaker of the House, and we talked about Act 751, about how we continue to get money for deferred maintenance, The bottom line, the way it's designed now, is that it's hard for us to move projects forward without a commitment of dollars coming from the state legislature. But I did find out that they're trying to make some changes now that will allow us to continue projects to move. So we do need continued support in speaking with our elected delegation to make that happen. Also, yesterday, we had the chairman of Rev and Fisk and the chairman Ways and Means that visited the campus. And I can tell you, they were, and our chair of our facility group was with us. And I'm going to tell you, I know that Senator Foyle, who we talked to before, was very excited to see the amount of work that's being done on this campus. The chair of Ways and Means asked this question. Do y'all have projects that you're not spending money on? What projects you have that's not being done? We were happy to say we have no projects that we're not spending money on. We have no projects that are not being done. The money that you give us are being implemented. And when they made the tour, I think they saw it. So I thought that was very well. I got one more thing I want to try to do. This is the time for the session, capital outlay. The capital outlay coordinator, Ms. Simone Whitmore, who has done an impeccable job of making sure that we meet all the things we need for capital outlay. We keep projects going. So if it's okay with you, Mr. Chair, I wanted to take just a brief update of where we are with capital outlay and what we're doing. Ms. Simone?
Good morning, Chair, board members, Southern University community. I'm going to be very brief. In fact, I challenged Ken to a game of who could get through their briefing fastest. I think I have 30 seconds. In fact, he did half of what I was going to say, so I'm already set. Ken does an amazing job championing our causes with facility planning and control. I mean, when he came in, capital outlay, for those of us who have been fighting through capital outlay, is not an easy process at all to understand. But he has gotten in there and he has really tried to understand enough. And once he understands, as he says, he knows enough now to be dangerous. So when they tell him one thing, he says, nope, we're going another way. So I want to really give him credit for that. Having built the bill and knowing what's going on behind the scenes with facility planning at this time, I will tell you that he has pushed through more than I imagined possible. So everything that is in construction is still moving forward. They didn't have a chance to do anything with that. So that means STEM is moving forward. It's under construction. They're moving forward to finishing that in March of 27. The Suno nursing building will be finished. We have the 4 projects that we said were shovel ready. And so we have our business school, as he said, we'll break ground here shortly. We have the university cafeteria in Suno, which apparently was underfunded again. We were able to get another $2 million in funding for that so that we can make sure that project's a little bit closer or a lot closer to what they need there. The chilled water lines, everybody knows about our challenges with our AC and our cooling and all the things, and all these new buildings will have new requirements. That project will be able to move to construction shortly. The only project that still has a challenge is, as he mentioned, the mega shelter. And again, the way that it's positioned in the bill, if they will move the federal dollars first, that one can go to construction as well. So that's one that he's still championing through the process. Projects that are in design, those are the projects that would have been vulnerable to facility planning slowing down. So we have the lab school, we have the SUSLA domestic water loop, we have the Global Innovation and Welcome Center Phase 2, and we have the new Workforce Training Center in SUSLA. So all of those we push through to facility planning to say at least keep them moving. The lab school would be the one that we would need any additional support, because I think design is supposed to be finished by the end of the year, and there's not funding in the bill to get it to construction. So other than that, however, the SUSLA domestic water loop, facility planning's working with us to find maintenance dollars to get that one going. Global Innovation and Welcome Center Phase 2, we are combining with another project that was funded in the bill, and we're actually saving the state money, and they've been very receptive to that. So we hope to get that one to construction in the fall as well. And the SUSLA new Workforce Training Center, they have continued to maintain that one, and it will go to design and continue through. So the only other things that might have been disappointing is we asked for 2 new projects. We kind of knew we probably would not get those. There was SUNO Renovate Student Housing that I think we're working through other channels, and the SUSLA, the second component of the SUSLA Physical Education Complex. So in terms of challenges with facility planning and Division of Administration, we did very well to keep the things that we have moving. The challenge now is going to be to continue that momentum and let them know that we still have capital challenges. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Simone. Appreciate it. Simone does an excellent job. Plus, she manages construction management here on campus. So, I know. So that's right. So I mean, I don't know where she gets the time, but she does it. Any questions at this time?
We do.
It's working.
Yes.
Has the Cattle Parish School Board agreed to sell that property at Newton Smith yet?
I don't know. I guess the chance again. I don't think they have. No, they have not agreed to move forward in that vein.
Because we mentioned we're ready to go out for design. I'm just wondering where are we with those dollars for the Workforce Development Center?
And as Simone said, we have worked with facility planning control, so those design dollars and things still remain intact. So we still kept it intact, but we do have to move forward with making sure we have that location so we can. But everything is intact right now with those dollars, so we're not worried about it, at least for this session.
Okay, no chance of us losing those dollars.
No, sir.
Okay,
we have them in.
Thank you.
One other thing, Mr. Chair, I would say this: the egress road, and I'm sorry that Chairman Clayton is not here. The egress road that we talked about, that we met in Washington about, we did speak with our representative, Ken Brass. Ken Brass is doing something to get some initial planning dollars to make sure that we move forward with that. So that project is moving forward as well.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. And I want to particularly thank you for your hard work and the things that you're doing for our Southern University system, and how you articulated so wonderful yesterday the projects to the delegation. And I think you're right. They were very impressed. We just got to keep following up and make sure we get the money. Is Simone still in the building? Simone, Stan, I just also want to say thank you to you and let the board know that you're doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and it does not go unacknowledged. So thank you for everything you do as well. All right, thank you. At this time, I am told that we do have an update on the residential housing, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Vice Chairman, and I think that Mr. Pierre is going to do that according to El Herrera. And along with that, you have enclosed in your package an update, and it looks like this for that particular project. And Ms. Ann, you ought to be full with joy because you have asked for 2 years about this project, and we've finally seen the light. Mr. Pierre, Chancellor Pierre.
Thank you, Reverend Henry. First of all, I want to thank all of the individuals that have been working on this. Originally, obviously, This was done under the purview of the President Chancellor's office. As things have transitioned, we have been able to get our hands around it from the Baton Rouge campus. I want to thank Mr. DeQueer and Ms. Blosh for working so hard, Ms. Desiree Honoré Thomas and Mr. Flanders McClendon, among others. So we have been engaged in what I call the real nitty-gritty, which is making sure that this project, if we get it all the way to the finish line, will cash flow and will make it through our processes. So we're at a very critical point in time. I've spent the last 2 weeks looking at pro formas. We've been working back and forth to make adjustments, to cut what we perceive to be unnecessary expenses when necessary to make the project look better. Obviously, we're going through some challenging times. No one expected a war 3 weeks ago. There's a lot happening, but what we have come down to, and we've gone back and forth, the model is for us to do a lease-back structure with an interest rate that we believe will be about 5% over a 40-year term. We think that's a pretty decent interest rate. There's a lot going on in the market. We have to do a lot of things, and we have to present this project to the Louisiana Public Facilities Authority and the Bond Commission. There are important dates that are coming on. We have put in the application, or the foundation put in the application, because you authorized the foundation to do so. We have been talking through those processes. There's an important date on April 16th, and Mr. DeQueer can elaborate a little better than I can. There's an important date that something has to be done. And we recognize that our next board meeting would have been the day after. So in collaboration with President McMeans, we went back and forth. We're asking the board to do a special board meeting, we said between April 7th and April 9th, so that we can have as much information as possible, because this is a very elaborate process. The legal documents haven't all been completed, but we're keeping the pressure on to get all these things done so that you can have confidence in what we are doing. Mrs. Smith talked about grow JAGS. We are growing. Vice Chairman Abraham, I know you hear it every day about how much we need new housing. And I've fielded several calls over the last few weeks, because what's happening this year in particular, we are getting a lot of high-performing students that I would just say have come to the light and are saying, we want to come to Southern. And we can get those students here, but we got to be able to have space for them housing, because there is a phenomena going on right now. Students that are the kinds of students that we want more of, we want to have access and opportunity, they're looking for the full college experience. There's a lot happening out here, and Southern University has been the beneficiary of a lot of great publicity and accomplishment. What we're doing in the College of Ag, all those different places that are growing, the nursing school, the human jukebox. Southern University is growing. We're doing some stuff in AI. I think Mrs. Gaines got to see what we're doing with respect to that. There's a lot going on, and so we're drawing folks here, and so the ability to have this new housing is very, very important, and that's why we're pushing and really pushing to make sure we're on time, because we need that housing by fall 2027. I'll let I'll let him do a little bit more detail, because I try not to pretend that I know anything about law, and I let the real lawyers talk.
Pretty much covered it all. Just for the board, we're really financing the first new housing bond project. It's our last new housing. It's going to be 2 buildings. Between the 2 buildings, approximately 360,000 square feet of new housing. The first building, which we hope to open in the fall of 2027, would be approximately 500 beds designated for first and second year students. Then in the fall of 2028, there would be a second building, which would be approximately 350 beds in traditional apartments And that building, even though it's only 350 beds, would be a little bit bigger than the first building. Traditional apartments for upper class and graduate students. So it's 2 phases designed to satisfy 2 different demands, the incoming freshmen and first years and upper class and graduate students who still want to live on campus. The total issuance is expected to be about $100 million. Actual construction cost is expected to be about $77 million. And the biggest difference between this project and the prior Millennium Bond issue, and I know Mr. Lawson was here, and Mr. Rutledge was here, is we're trying to refine these projects where they stand on their own 2 feet. That is, each building will only have the revenues from that building pledged to satisfy that debt service. We will not be using debt service from other auxiliaries to satisfy this particular bond issue, which is important because when you do that, you complicate future bond issues if you've used auxiliaries outside of that specific project. So one of the reasons, and the Chancellor and Mac and Ms. Blosh have been meeting literally 2 and 3 times a week, is we're trying to refine the pro forma financial statements so the issuance looks good and cash flow works only using the rental revenues from that particular dormitory. So we don't have to pledge anything else on campus to satisfy this. And that's the other reason it's phased, because we may build the first one and decide, you know what, let's run this one for a little while before we build the second one. It's not guaranteed that both are built at the same time. I'll open the floor to any questions, but that's the details of what we're actually putting together. It will be a traditional lease back. Like Millennium, we will lease the ground to the foundation, and then in turn we will lease the completed facility back from the foundation. But the only thing the lease payment will be the rental revenues collected from that building.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. DeCruz and Chancellor Pierre. Do we have any other questions, Mr. Lawson?
When will the document be available
Yes.
that we would need to approve is the question.
So-
and secondly,
Yes.
why can't we authorize, because we pretty much know what we're needing to do, the leadership along with the facilities committee or the chair of the facilities to have the authority to sign and execute that document without calling a special meeting?
We've discussed that. The preliminary approval for the bond commission will be hopefully April 16th, with a final approval by the bond commission on May 21st. Then the bonds will be marketed for the first part of June, and the closing is scheduled for June 25th. Our board meeting schedule for us, we recommend that the board call a special meeting before the April 16th meeting to show the bond commission it's approved the project, and we will know by then better details on what the exact cash flow will be that will be presented to the bond commission on the 16th. And then at the board's May meeting, we will have the final documents for the board, so the board will give a final approval right before the bond commission gives a final approval. So what we're doing is we want the best information available, so we're trying to schedule a board meeting when the information's clear right before each bond committee meeting. So the board will give a preliminary approval right before the bond commission gives a preliminary approval. Then the board will approve the closing, the final documents right before the bond commission gives its final approval. And Mr. Lawson, you may recall 20 years ago, we went through much the same process with special meetings on Millennium.
All right, Mr. Vice Chair, you have.
Just, I don't know if it's a question or certainly a comment, and I certainly can appreciate the bond strategy and trying to stay out of the auxiliaries on a project, such as this. That's going to be important, but this is a massive project. You mentioned it's been quite some time since we've undertook a project of this size. I think anytime we enter into something like this, for me, immediately I start to thinking, are we going to be able to make it affordable for our students? At the end of the day, we're doing it for them, but at the end of the day, they are going to be the ones that are going to have to cash flow this. And I don't want to get into chance. I don't want to get in. We don't have to get into a detailed discussion about that right now, but that's on the front page of this, and there appears to be, or at least going to be, a huge disparity between the price of this project per student versus what students, essentially pay for housing right now, particularly on the Baton Rouge campus. So I do have some concerns about that. I would like to zoom in on this project to a certain per student cost with minimal deviation, plus or minus a certain percent, so that we can plan for that. That's going to be significant in the planning for us, not just for the project, but for also, how are we going to make sure that the students can afford it going forward?
That is of paramount importance to us also in revising the pro forma financial statements. Every time you tweak an expense or you lower an expense, you can pull a few dollars out of the prospective rental rate because you don't have to have as much revenue. I can tell you from background, when we closed the Millennium Project in 2006, one of the things we discovered is at that time, our dorm rental rates were way below market, even for what we had in our current inventory. And to build a new building, we did have to adjust rental rates to what the market was for new buildings. We're very sensitive to that. Yep. And that's one of the reasons, you can't build a dormitory and charge so much that nobody lives in it. That defeats the point.
If I may,
Yes, sir.
Abraham, I understand your concern. I want to point out three things. One, unfortunately, I don't know how this happened, but there was about a 12-year period that there was no request, or at least there was no approval of raising. We should have been incrementally raising housing rates.
Okay.
And that didn't happen, but we're doing it now, and we're kind of playing catch up. The second thing is that we're so far behind. I want to thank Dr. Renee for pointing something that he found, and I think he shared it with Reverend Henry, how far we are behind. And for example, just comparison to Jackson State. And look, students want great looking facilities. There's a cost. We have to build that expectation in there. So by my reviewing or everybody else reviewing that pro forma, the prospectus of pro forma, yes, we are very conscious of what that housing rate is going to be, but we have to be able to be honest and tell the truth, because we've got to be able to maintain those buildings from that standpoint. And then the third thing is, as Mr. DeQuier, it's been 20 years. We're growing. 20 years ago, higher education was in a different space. Hurricane Katrina had hit. We learned that there were so many changes to higher education that some people even doubted whether or not Southern University as a system could continue. In 20 years from then, we are growing. We are a significant force in this state. And we have to continue to do that by planning for that future, because that's how we create transformation.
All right, any more questions or comments? Thank you all very much. Thank you. At this time, since we have no more questions or comments, we have any other business?
Chairman, I think we should make a motion to recommend the proper dates for the special meeting to the full board.
So there is do we have a recommended date? We have a recommended time frame.
We do have a recommended. We just want to make the recommendation. I make the motion to make the recommended time frame for the special meeting to be what specific date, sir?
I think they have a date.
The proposed time frame was somewhere between April 7th and April 9th, but I'm going to defer to the president, chancellor, and chairman. That was the window before the relevant bond meeting. We assumed you guys needed to circulate that window amongst yourselves to pick a date where you could get a majority.
So we don't need a motion or anything. Yeah.
All right. Any other discussions? Any other business? Seeing that there's none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. It's been properly moved and second. All in favor? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Member Henry. Move now to the Finance Committee. We have another great reverend of ours, Dr. Sam Talbert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair. At this time,
You're welcome, sir.
the Finance Committee is called to order. Roll call, please, Mr. President.
Reverend Dr. Samuel Tolbert,
Present.
Mr. Myron K. Lawson,
Present.
Mr. Reggie Abraham,
Present.
Attorney Quincy Cawthorn, Ms. Maple Gaines, Mr. Aaron Manzi, Mr. Chris Massengill, Attorney DeMorne Rutledge, Mrs. Ann Smith, Attorney Tony Clayton. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will entertain a motion for item number C, the adoption of the agenda. It's been moved and second. Any questions? If not, all in favor vote by saying aye. Any opposed, the ayes have it. Our agenda is adopted. At this time, any public comment? Seeing none, we move to item number E, informational items, the interim financial reports by Mr. Flanders.
Good morning, Vice Chairman Abraham, other members of the board, and Mr. President. You have again in your packet the interim financial report, and this report provides the financial status for the university's general fund, state general fund, for the Southern University system. A couple of highlights that I would like to mention. One is that if you notice that the total budget for the entire system, the total general fund budget is $191 million. And the total amount that we are spending, that we are projecting to spend, that we are projecting to receive is $197 million, which means that we have exceeded the amount that we originally budgeted by $5.3 million. Of the 5 campuses, which is the boarding system, the boarding system is totally funded through state dollars. And based on those dollars, we are projecting that the boarding system will close with a balanced budget. And that means that we are planning to, based on the dollars that were allocated to us by the state, we are planning to spend the total amount of the budget. For the Baton Rouge campus, as I mentioned last meeting, their budget is $105,598,000, and the total amount of the revenue that they received is $109 million, which means they're like $4.3 million above budget. And the amount, the extra dollars that they have received, they are allocated among other categories of expenditures, which include salaries and operating service and all those different amounts. But they are again projecting to close with a balanced budget. The Law Center, their total budget is $25 million. Their total revenue they're projecting is $26.1 million, and the total amount, the revenue exceeds the budget by $936,000. And they are projecting those dollars as additional dollars to be spent doing various categories like operating services primarily and other areas. For the SUNO campus, the SUNO campus is also submitting this document. Their total budget is $25 million, and they are projecting to spend their entire budget. They have self-generated revenues. They're saying they're going to break even with their revenues. So their total amount that they're spending is based on the original budget that was submitted. There is a change. They're showing that their tuition and fees are up, and that they're making a small adjustment, an adjustment of $438,000 in the other category. But again, they're projecting to have a balanced budget at year end. For the Shreveport campus, their total budget is 16.5 million, and they are projecting to have a balanced budget, and their revenues will be flat, which means they're saying they will, they're projecting to, the revenues they're projecting equals the amount of the budget that they have. And they're also projecting to have a balanced budget. The only difference is that their tuition and fees are up by 767,000, but they're saying their other categories down by 706. The net effect, their total revenue equals the amount that they're budgeting. Ag Center is funded from state appropriations and also from federal funds, and they do not anticipate any reduction in their revenues, and they're projected to have a balanced budget. And that's the information that we have for the month of February 28.
Mr. McClinton,
Yes, sir.
it's Talbot over here.
Oh, okay.
Are we expected to get any additional revenue from the state legislature, especially for Suno and Susler? Because it sounds like they spending what they're taking in.
Right.
And any slight deviation could have them with an unbalanced budget.
That's true.
I mean, you got 4.3 surplus on SUBR. But there, it sounds like what they're taking in, they spending. So if there's a drop in students, weather events that cause expenses to go up, that budget could be out of balance, right?
Right, that's correct. We are not expecting any additional revenues because the budget for this fiscal year has already been approved. The only way they will get additional dollars, it would be based on supplemental appropriation that's approved through the legislature for this fiscal year. But other than that, no, the budget has already been set for this year.
So are we advocating for supplemental income from the legislature?
Well, we always do, try to get supplemental income. Yes, sir.
So one of the things we did as a system for $19 million in one-time funding, but thanks to our Legislative Black Caucus, I did in both my presentations to Senate Finance and House Appropriations state that we do need and deserve an increase in our base. I was worried about how that would go over, but I did not receive any pushback. I asked between 10 and 20% increase in our base system-wide, and I think it's something that we're going to have to start working on July 1 of this year and not wait till the session to make sure that possibly gets in the executive budget. Do I think it's possible? I mean, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive. So I do think that it's possible. I'm optimistic that we will get significant one-time dollars for the system. And in particular, my priority has always been this $3 million to make Suno whole. We have to start with that first. And then we look at the other 4 campuses as well as the systems office. So I think all of the meets went well, but I agree with you. And I want to thank Mr. McClinton because I had an opportunity because of what's going on at Regents to look at our budgets at each campus. And I think that at the next board meeting in Shreveport, but probably prior to that, I will communicate with the board some recommendations that I'm thinking about as it relates to making us more financially and fiscally stable. And with that comes difficult, tough decisions.
Yeah.
As I listened to President Gallo talk during the session about some of the turnarounds, we're going to have to think that way as well. And so we're going to make those tough decisions. As Chancellor Pierre said, we're growing right here, but we need to grow across the system. And in order for us to do that, we need to make those decisions.
Yeah, and I think Chairman Clayton wanted to have something to say.
Clayton, I'm perplexed as to, earlier I heard you say that Suno would have a balanced budget at the end of the year. Is that just for this fiscal year, or are you contemplating this debt that they have now?
It's just this fiscal year. They are projected to have a balanced budget. We are looking at the, the President and I are looking at the campuses real close.
So I remember we had this financial literacy piece back in the day.
Right.
The law school had a budget, and we made them take that money and help Baton Rouge. So Baton Rouge has a $4.3 million surplus, which I really need to see that. Then I expect the president and you guys to meet with Chancellor Bowie, who inherited this issue down in New Orleans, and make him whole. And so we need to transfer $3 of that million down to New Orleans, and if that balances him out, it balances him out. Because to see Baton Rouge sitting on a $4.3 million surplus, what happens? They give it back. If you got a family and one family is hurting, one member, then you help that family member. Is that something that we can do? And Chancellor, yeah, you're holding your head down, but I want you to hold your head up and let's talk about that a second.
Well,
is that doable, Mr. McClin?
Right. When you say a $4.3 million surplus.
Yeah, but he keeps saying that.
Let me explain. I said they exceeded their budget by $4.3 million, but they also allocated those dollars in the other areas.
Wait, repeat that.
That's the part.
They also allocated the excess in the other categories, so that where they needed funds, maybe in operating services and in the categories, that they will be spending those dollars. That's what they have allocated.
So they don't have a $4.3 million surplus?
It's not a surplus, it's an excess of revenue. But they are spending those, they're projecting to spend those dollars in other categories.
And that's how that budget balances.
So, if I may?
I'm listening to my vice in my ear, and I agree with him, because this is like monopoly money, y'all talking about that.
It's not a surplus.
If I may?
And Mr. Chairman, let me just also mention from years past, that's another thing we got to be careful of.
Sorry?
SUBR ended up filing financial exigence because we were putting money into the pool cost to help fund SUNO before. And we almost drug the flagship down, trying to supplement SUNO. This has happened before. We've been on that road. And although he's saying a $4.4 million is not really a surplus.
Well, don't say it's a surplus then, guys.
Excuse me. I said
I defer to my colleague, to my vice chair.
But we don't want a false narrative going out there, particularly at this point in time in the legislative session. We have a $4.3 million surplus. That is incorrect. I think what we have is $4.3 million of additional revenue we've generated based upon the budget that we had. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. Let's make sure. Just want to make a point of clarity that it's not a surplus.
Well, I don't know. I heard y'all say surplus, and now I'm clear. And thank you.
I don't think they said surplus. I think they used some other words, and we interpret it as a surplus.
Yeah.
They said additional revenue.
That's correct. That's what I said. And I also said that it's being used in other categories at the university.
Well,
so it's not
Chancellor Bowie, don't look like you're going to get that additional revenue.
Oh. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
That although it may be attributed to other categories, that spending decision can be modified
Absolutely.
as an administration objective.
So, and I'm going to wrap my question.
What are those other categories? What are you allocating to that?
I want to see SUNO help. And if you got, playing around with those terms, SUNO needs help. And to tie Chancellor Bowie's hands, to put him down there, and then to have him with this, and I'm sorry, he just has to be helped. And I agree when you start finagling with the term, I thought I heard the word surplus. So it's not a surplus, but it's additional revenue. And I've seen Baton Rouge in that predicament before. The law school helped them. So SUNO needs to be helped.
Mr. Shorty.
Mr. Chairman, I think Chancellor Bowie can expound on some of the historical perspectives that you brought up, because it has not always been a flow from SUBR to SUNO. SUNO has also flowed into SUBR And if the chancellor can bring some historical perspective to that, I think it'd be appreciated by the board.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I remember when the state first implemented selective admissions, and SUNO had a waiver simply because we didn't sign that, and our enrollment bustled. We were at 4,500, but both Grambling and Southern lost 50% of their enrollment the very first year was implemented. Money was in fact shared with the other system, and so that's not a precedent. We've done it before. As the chairman said, though, SUNO's inherent and what I inherited was a shortfall. And of course, when I was in the legislature, we were able to ensure that the word used was supplemental. We was able to do that. If that happens again, until we realign enrollment and expenditures at the New Orleans campus, we will continue to have that challenge. And so whatever can be done to provide that kind of support, you know, obviously we welcome it, but we have a plan to try and stabilize and then deal with what is that recurring deficit.
Yes. Well, I would like to meet with Mr. McClendon and maybe Mr. Lawson, you know, before the next meeting to have some more discussions, to zoom really in on this, because SUNO did not have to file financial exigency. SUBR had to file financial exigency. And that was not a good picture. And that was a tough vote. I think Mr. Matthews has his hand.
Chairman, Mr. McClendon, I just want to get some clarity. Based on the excess revenue of $4.3 million that's being allocated to other expenditures in the budget, has that money already been spent, or are we just projecting it to be used in the budget for certain expenditures? Is it filling gaps? Is that what's happening? Or we're saying we're going to expend more than what the original budget was because we have an excess of $4.3 million?
Great question, Paul. Okay, the amount that they're allocating to other categories, it has not been spent, but I'm not certain whether it's been committed, and I would need to ask probably the chancellor and this honorary to address that.
So to that point, if it has not been expensed yet, wherever it's being allocated towards, is it being allocated because it's filling gaps, or there are additional items that we want to expense?
The answer is, Mr. Matthews, yes, because
Yes, what? It's filling gaps?
it is filling gaps because we are subsidizing lots of other things on this landmass,
Sure.
even within the system. And let me just say this. Attorney Clayton is exactly right about what happened years ago, because I was in that meeting when excess dollars from the Law Center was brought over to the Baton Rouge campus. There were a lot of things happening. Actually, Sussler also paid that pain of dealing with that. So I've seen this front and center. The thing that I want to say is this. Our goal always is to grow revenue. We're growing students. We're growing revenue. We are not at a point, though, given all the intricacies of expected outcomes with the legislature in the next year or so. The legislature will be in a worse financial position because of the, quote, big, beautiful bill. There's going to be a lot of money lost in Louisiana, and you're going to see it across healthcare and higher education. The point I'm trying to make is this, and President McMeans understands this point very, very well. We have to keep pulling ourselves out of holes. We don't want to be what other universities are right now, and it's showing stress-wise, UL, ULM, UNO. So the point is, we got to keep growing, and we're team players, and we're going to keep growing because we got to do it across the system, because higher education is going to be in a lot of trouble just in a year from now.
Okay, but Mr. Pierre, what are those gaps that we're filling?
Okay, Ms. Thomas?
And why are those, why do we have those gaps? Because I appreciate the growth in revenue, which is great. So my question is, did we properly budget the expenses in the first place? Because if we have growth in revenue, there really shouldn't be much gaps anyway if we had anticipated our expenditures the right way. So what are those gaps? And if for the next fiscal year, see what is necessary and not necessary so that we can maybe be a little bit more fiscally responsible and maintain, hopefully, potentially a surplus, just to have the proper narrative with the legislature. If we're concerned that the big, beautiful bill is going to create some financial problems for the legislature and other universities around the state.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, and the board. So the gaps that occurred because of also increased enrollment. One of the things that we do is encourage our out-of-state fee waiver. That was up over $1 million this year because of the number of new students we received. So that's $1 million of the 4 that came from the revenue. The other thing that has happened is we have had multiple infrastructure issues and an increase in energy costs. I want to say a company, energy cost. We have had multiple infrastructure failures on this campus, collapsed sewer pipes, and bigger projects that normally wouldn't happen. That has happened in the last 12 months.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we are, our energy grid, we have a lot of things we're trying to work on with the increased number of people moving on the campus. The infrastructure is a little taxed more than normal. But you have to remember how old some of it is. Some of it is over 60 years old.
Right. Okay. Good.
So, Mr. Matthew, that concludes your questions?
For now, yes.
Because Sheriff Whitehorn and then Mr. Lawson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this question that I have goes to President and possibly Mr. Clinton. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, they got to turn it on.
Okay, I guess my question goes to probably Mr. President and Mr. Clinton. As we build budgets, we often build them with a conservative approach. Can y'all hear me? Okay, we build them with a conservative approach. And as I look at the report, the projections for revenue, for instance, and this is down the line for all the institutions, the actual revenue versus the projected revenue is really skewed. For instance, as I look at the Baton Rouge campus, the actual revenue is 94 million plus, but we only projected 15 million in revenue. And that's down the line everywhere you look. So can somebody explain how we're projecting the low amounts, but we actually are receiving the higher amounts in revenue?
Right. You said that for example, let's just take Baton Rouge.
Okay.
The budgeted amount is 105,000, say.
Yeah.
105 million, I'm sorry, 105 million. But the total dollar amount that they actually is expecting is 109.
Yeah.
When they built their budget, apparently it was built based on past what they have received in the past. Okay. They didn't go out because there's a danger going either way. They could have built it on anticipating an extra large number of students.
Okay.
But they built it, as you said, with a conservative approach that says that we know that we're going to be able to get at least this amount. It could be based on what we received last year.
Yeah.
As the year progresses, if it's greater than what we received, then we can do what? We can actually go ahead, it's good. But if we built it in the beginning on 109, And we received 105.
Yes, sir. I understand that, but
Right.
I'm asking about the projected amount is only 15 million. With the actual amount that is that what we've received at this point?
Right. The actual amount, if you want to talk about, okay, let's talk about the revenue.
Yeah.
The actual amount of their revenue that they have received as of this point is 94.
Okay. And the projected amount, is that what you anticipated?
That is correct for the remainder
additional
of the year. Right.
revenue.
That's correct.
Okay, not what you projected that the revenue would be for the fiscal year.
Right. And the reason for it, if you look normally from the state point of view, you don't get all of it up front. So if you look at the top, they're still expecting funds from the state. We still have to draw the funds down from the state. So they're saying they're going to get $8 million from the state. That's definite. We haven't had a state cut or anything. So they'll get that, but we can't show it on this report as being actual because we have not received it, but we can project that we are going to receive it.
That clarifies my question. I'm looking at projected amount versus actual amount, and
That's
it's
correct.
not really explained as to what those are, but you just did that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lawson?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess the confusing part is when, I mean, especially for the newer board members, no campus is in the black. If you look at what needs to be paid, sometimes what's payable that's not been paid, and certainly with the infrastructure challenges that we have, I often say that it's what we don't see that's threatening to us. The infrastructure, the pipes, things of that nature. So without a doubt, SUNO needs help. But that has to be sustainable help. And whether we can do it one time or not, I think if there's an opportunity, we definitely should do it. But we ought to be lobbying this legislature for a permanent funding, but no less. It used to be $3 million. They need no less than probably $6 million. Dr. Bowie and I had a very long conversation last night about it. He has a plan. I'm impressed by that plan, but there's a problem if you want to get to the basics without funding formula. We've been saying that for years, and we need to continually say that we have to look at the funding formula. SUMO has not been funded adequately, nor has this system. And we need to make an argument with our legislators that we need to have accurate formula funding. Is that correct? That's correct. So if you want to cure this issue that we're dealing with, now is the time to say we need the correct formula funding for Southern University. That's my point.
And I think, Mr. Lawson, you and I and a couple others need to really get with Mr. McClendon and Dr. Bowie and Pierre to talk more about this. Because one of the concerns I have, for example, the Baton Rouge campus, there is some control coming on this campus as far as security. When I go to the campus in New Orleans, there is no control. You can go in all kind of ways. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And at some point, some money needs to be budgeted to address that. And then they got almost a deficit. So I really think we need to have some real serious discussions about that because that could affect your enrollment. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Mr. Chair, I want you to include Paul Matthews
Okay.
with that. Yes.
He refreshed my memory last night. He has an MBA, but he would be able to bring some institutional knowledge to that too. So Paul, we'll address it later with you getting on that committee. But I like this discussion. Actually, it's the first time in a long time that I've heard us actually talk about surplus and additional revenue because I never understood it. But I thank you for opening this up, and now I'm beginning to see where the real deal is, Myron. And lastly, Chancellor Bowie, we have the right person to go work that letter. He was down there the other day. I saw him working with the president. I'm confident that he's going to get down there and get some extra money for his school. So he just left there, but we got the right person at the right time steering that ship. But again, thank you for, we need to do this more often on finance so we can really figure out what's going on. We'll know where our weaknesses are.
Our Vice Chair, Mr. Abraham.
Yeah, I've got only one more.
You were finished, Mr. Lawson. Yeah. Go ahead.
One more comment, two comments. Number one, this is a system. And if any one of our entities is somewhat bleeding, we got to help patch it up in some way, shape, or form. So let's never forget that. This is a system. Number two, I think it's important to say we talk about soliciting and securing additional revenue. But I'm more interested in whether or not, as a system, we're as financially are stewarding our finances in the right way. And I think each one of our leaders, you really need to dig deep and understand, you know, is your spending where it needs to be? We're always talking about securing more revenue, but I'm interested in making sure that our stewardship of those finances is in the right space. So we can have more conversation about it. I think it's a great dialogue, and Mac, thank you. It's certainly not an indictment of you, Mac, and your team. It wasn't that, and to Desiree, wasn't meant for you to come up here and feel the need to defend yourself in any way. It's just there seems to be an opportunity to create more clarity where we are regarding our finances, so we can move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Matthews.
For clarity, thank you, Desiree, for the information. I think what we have is outside the Baton Rouge campus is right now has a expenditure rate of 71%. Everybody's pretty much at the proper rate as of the February ending based on our fiscal year. To Ms. Desiree's point, I think it's very interesting is that 25% of the gap that we're feeling is a good problem to have because of greater enrollment. So that's the cost that we're okay with. It's the other 75%, which a lot of that has to do with deferred maintenance issues long time. So Ken's going to work on that thing and make sure it's less and less of that. And obviously, we're going to get some money from the legislature. So I just want to pinpoint that it looks like based on what we budgeted, everyone is pretty much spending at a rate that's appropriate based on how many days in the fiscal year we've had. Baton Rouge is off by 5%, which I think anytime there's a 5% variance, the board needs to know on any major stuff like that, the total expenditure. So there's a 5% variance with Baton Rouge, but the rest are at the proper projection. So if we can look at that 75% gap, is it necessary? And then do we fiscally be more responsible long-term? Or if it is necessary, then we target proper revenues long-term. But we definitely do have a good problem right now because the revenues are up on the enrollment side. So I just want to clarify that from a positive standpoint.
Yeah, and as finance chair, I've been communicating with Mr. McClendon, and I'm not going to publicly mention it because I can't verify it yet. But there are some areas where there is some money at SUBR and across the system that we need to look at. But what I would do is get Mr. Lawson, Mr. Matthews, and we'll meet with the two chancellors and finance directors and talk a little bit more privately in detail about it. And maybe at the next meeting, Mr. Chairman, we would have a more detailed report back to you based on this discussion. So with that being said, if no one else has anything to say, any other business? Okay.
So, Mr. President, we're working the legislature. Chancellor Bowie, timing is now. Y'all, Byron, you said, Mr. Lawson, you said 6 million. I'm thinking more 19, 20 million. We need some real money. And look, we're shouldering one of the toughest responsibilities. We're taking kids from low poverty area and we're educating them and we're making them part of the workforce. We're doing what these other folks are not doing. Anybody can take the Winston DeClears and the Chris Massengale and sell, but to get a Tony Clayton through this place, I don't really mean that, but no, I mean that. So I like what we're doing, Reverend Talbot. And so, but we got to tell those folks downtown, hey, the Aubrey Gantz of the world, she's working with some kids and making them part of this productive member, taxpayers, in other words. And so what we're doing is unique, and we need to go downtown and make sure we tell them that.
And well, I'll save mine for the private discussion.
Wasn't gonna be nothing about sober or nothing like that. Okay.
Any other business to come before the committee? If not, I entertain a motion for adjournment. All right, second. All in favor? And opposed? We are now adjourned, Mr. Chairman.
Good meeting. I now call on the Honorable Quincy Cawthorn from the great parish of St. Landry to conduct the Legal Affairs Committee.
All right, I call to order the Legal Affairs Committee. Mr. President, can we get a roll call?
Thank you, sir. Attorney Quincy Cawthorn.
Present.
Attorney DeMorne Rutledge. Mr. Zell Dudley. Mrs. Maple Gaines. Mr. Aaron Manzi.
Present.
Mr. Paul Matthews.
Present.
Attorney Edwin Shorty.
Present.
Mr. Henry Whitehorn.
Present.
Dr. Ronnie Whitfield. Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as is? All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all ayes? All right, hearing no opposition, so move. D, public comments, hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on to action item E1. They've got a presenter, Chancellor Bowie.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, this is an acquisition that will replace Suno's outdated call management system. This system will allow us to have a state-of-the-art system that would allow us to have the kind of phone system and calling system that we need on a college campus. It will be funded by federal grant Title III funds. We have some Title III supplemental funds. So the cost of the $525,791 will be handled by Title III funds. But this will bring us a state-of-the-art call management system.
Any questions? All right, we got a first and a second. All right, can we get a vote? Ayes in favor? I hear no opposition, so move. We move on to information items. F, is there any information items? All right, no information items. We'll go to other business. Is there any other business? All right, so move.
Thanks. I now call on Attorney Edwin Shorty to chair the Personnel Affairs Committee.
Mr. Chairman, can I get a roll call, Mr. President?
Yes. Attorney Edwin Shorty.
Present.
Ms. Maple Gaines. Mr. Reggie Abraham. Attorney Quincy Cawthorn. Mr. Donald Ray Henry.
Present.
Mr. Chris Massengill. Mrs. Ann Smith. Mr. Henry Whitehorn. Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
We have a call. Yes, we do have a quorum.
Do I have a quorum?
I think she is.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move.
So moved. In a second? All in favor say aye. The agenda is adopted. Any public comments? Are there any public comments germane to the Personnel Committee? Seeing none, we will move on to action item E. I will entertain a motion to approve.
2, 3, and global.
Have a motion and a proper second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Action item in global E1, 2, and 3 are approved. Any other business?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
Chancellor Pierre, are you over the nursing school?
In school, it is actually Dr. Sandra Brown, who serves as our Vice Chancellor for Health Initiatives.
So you are over the nursing school. She's a vice chancellor. So here's my follow-up question. That nursing school has honored us with back-to-back national #1 ranking. Is it true that she generates roughly $5.8 to $6 million?
I'm pretty sure in terms of our enrollment, that I'll ask Ms. Honoré because she went through the budget.
Ms. Honoré, that school generate roughly $5.8 to $6 million in revenue? I can't hear you.
Mr. Clayton, that calculation, I think, is based on the number of freshmen who enter the university with declared majors of nursing.
Well, let me do this. Dr. Brown, are you in the house? Can you come up to the mic? I'll ask you the question. While you're walking up, how much money does your entity generate? Right, and everybody ought to know that. And so my question, Mr. President, is I understand that there's a request from the nursing school to bring in 8 more faculty folks to keep us #1 in the country. at roughly $500,000 to $600,000. If you take Tony and you spell it backwards, it says, why not? Why not give her the money to bring in the 8 more faculty folks when she's generating roughly $6 million? That's $500,000 or $600,000. Why not?
Here's what I would say, Mr. Clayton. So we are going through our budget hearings right now. We haven't completed our budget hearings. We are looking at everything involved. I did receive a request from Dr. Brown, and we're looking at it, but we also have other folks that have the same kind of questions. And so
Are they generating $6 million?
I'm not sure what they are.
Probably not. But board members, here's the deal. She's constantly ranking #1. And so that means all around the country, folks want to go there and they want to come there, Maple Gaines. And so if she needs 8 additional faculty folks and she's bringing $6 million in and she needs 600,000, board, I mean, if I'm they're calling me from all over the place, the country, saying you're #1 again. The governor said, we were down at the White House, he said, tell them about we're #1 with the nursing school. I mean, they're bragging about this.
Yes, we're in dire need of faculty. Our enrollment has quadrupled, and we have the same number of faculty that we started with. Our budget for the past 7 years has been flat. And so before we give all this money to SUNO, just throw some dollars our way, please, to support the faculty. That's all we're asking for, just to help support the faculty so that we can maintain our quality instruction and adhere to accreditation standards. We have to have 1 faculty to every 8 students we have to go into the clinical setting.
Mr. Shorty, I'm going to respectfully ask on the other business that at some point, it's not an action item, that the Vice Chancellor and the Chancellor and the finance folks take her $5.8 million and see if we can do some type of comparative analysis where she can extrapolate from her own revenue to grow that place. Because I guarantee you, when she brings in more kids, the money's going to go higher and higher. So, look, when the Saints lost Drew Brees, they went down. Let's not lose our Drew Brees.
Point well taken, sir.
All right.
Mr. Lawson and then Mr. Henry.
Spent a little time on Southern Campus and did fairly well, but I still don't know if you reverse Tony, you spell what's
Why not?
Okay.
Any other comments?
My grandchildren told me that.
Okay.
Are there any other comments?
No,
All right.
and I commend, that was a very, very great accomplishment. And it's around the country, what's happening with the nursing program. I concur with the chairman saying we have a few other schools that are generating revenue. I think the PhD program in public policy is one of them. Is that correct? So we need to get the answer. Why are we not funding it? You look at our online. That's revenue generating. And Chris and I know very well what's happening with LSU 8. Why are we not reinvesting in online?
Stop saying why we are. Just say why not.
That's right, Tony. So, Mr. Chair of Finance, I'm anxious to work with you as a member of Finance to say why not. Because, and there's some other questions as to why not maybe, but to me, we should not stifle a positive program that's growing. It checks the blocks when it comes to retention, and it also checks the blocks when it comes to the type of students that we'd like to see. If you're going to nursing program, chances are you're better than average student. So can we get that next month meeting, Mr. Chairman?
It's up to Mr. Shorty. Can we get
Yes,
that
sir.
on your agenda? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Henry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for emphasizing this concern. But I'm a bit confused on why is this such a difficult. This is so difficult to give us a response to this. I mean, the chancellor's been asking for this for a year and more and longer. There must be a reason, and I would like to know.
There's a reason why we go through these budget hearings, so that we can look at everything across the board. Now, here's the challenge that we got to have a serious discussion about, and we're going to have this serious discussion.
That's what I want to hear.
All right. Certainly, there are units that are maybe underperforming, but we have to be very careful about how we allocate, because we have a lot of what we call support services. One of the things, Chairman Abraham, you and I talk about this, the Board of Regents is saying, hey, you guys are growing some great programs, but you need to think about eliminating some programs. Okay? That's one. Second thing, we already have to prepare for this. In the big, beautiful bill, if you have programs that are low earning income programs, those programs will lose financial aid, loans, and Pell Grants. There's already a piece of legislation in front of the legislature that says there will not be dollars appropriated to those programs once they're deemed to be low income earning programs. Well, all I'm trying to say is this. It's not as simple as it appears. We're trying to balance out where we need to. Dr. Bowie and I talk about a lot of different things, and he understands. So what we have to do is this. We have to figure out how we can grow, and I agree, we need to grow that nursing faculty. But I get the same demands from Dr. Ijigari with his executive PhD program. There are other areas where we're growing. The key is, what's the proper mix? We cannot do it all in one time.
When do you come to a final decision and of your assessment of what you're going to do?
We're going through that process right now, and I think we have another month or so of budget hearings.
Because I think the board and the chairman is saying you need to prioritize the nursing.
No, we do. That's not the issue. That is not the issue.
I know you're looking at the bigger picture.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to balance out the bigger issue. And again, so in part of that discussion with the legislature, we know that health care will be a big problem in this state. So, hey, legislature, give us the extra money so that we don't have to worry about pulling it from our internal generating dollars, because the value we provide is great. There are a lot of challenges out there that we need to be very, very careful to make sure that we don't make mistakes. And the key is this. Yes, we're growing, we're generating extra revenue, but there are a lot of other expenses that come in that, as Ms. Honoré Thomas talked about, infrastructure, all kinds of things that relate to that kind of stuff. And here's another challenge we haven't talked about. I guess I better breach the subject now. We better start talking about with respect to athletics, because the Baton Rouge campus at A&M College, in a way, all of those things matter. So what I'm saying to you is this. I appreciate everything that's been said. We are going to prioritize nursing, but we can't just do it right now. And I believe Reverend Tobit is exactly right. We have seen the Baton Rouge campus go into a slide that nobody wants. And that's the one thing I'm very, very careful about in terms of what we're doing. But we're going through that process. So we're entertaining the discussion. We will walk through that process, but we also have other needs that we need to address. And I just want to make everybody aware of that. But always, we want that. And I'm a big supporter of the School of Nursing, and we keep pushing and pushing, and we actually probably need to create a health sciences center. I propose that because that's where the growth is going to be. But we also have to be cognizant of this. There are going to be changes that are going to happen, and we need to be way ahead of the curve in terms of understanding where those changes are. So it is at the top of my priorities. You can believe that.
Thank you for your explanation. Look, can you, when you come to the conclusion of your observation, can you call me or let me know what you come up with? I'm very concerned about
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. One last.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Chancellor Pierre,
Yeah, the board. Yeah.
I hear all that. Sounds great. But you and Ms. Desiree, we've been asking for a comparative analysis or some study about duplicitous. I'm looking at your administration, You ask me, I think you're top heavy. I think the system is top heavy. And at some point, you guys need to go through that and scrub it. But if NVIDIA stock is paying a lot of money, you put more money in it. Nursing has won 2 Super Bowls. Put more money in it. And those folks who are not doing this, take it away from them. Having all these folks I see on when I see this org chart, at some point the legislature is about to tell Dr. McMeans, tighten up your budget. And I haven't heard anything from you and your administration, nor the president and their administration, where y'all lock down and say, hey man, some folks need to retire. Some folks we need to find some money. We need to put money in programs like what Dean Brown is doing and grow what's the best thing. I was just talking to Chris in the back. We have to enhance the best that we got. I like to see a summit of you guys, Reggie called it a planning conference, to show this board that I know that some folks could do 2 of these jobs. I'm sick of cutting the faculty and everybody else. Let's cut some administrators.
Well, we have not been cutting faculty. We have not been cutting faculty.
And you have not been cutting administrators.
Let me say this, Mr. Clayton. We have people that are doing 3 jobs. When you look at what we do on a day-to-day basis in comparison to other institutions, they have 3 people doing 1 job. We have 1 person doing 3 jobs. When we talk about efficiency, you cannot find better efficiency than you do here. Dr. McMeans can tell you that. If we were doing what some of the institutions across the state were doing, we'd be in the same boat as the UL system with 3 of their institutions that are struggling. And despite the fact that Southern University has been historically underfunded for years, we have made much out of nothing. And that is to be commended. Let's talk about that.
I struck a nerve, so we'll move on because.
Watch out, Chancellor. Watch out.
You preaching. President told me to move on. Do we have any other comments? Given that there are no other comments, I would say to the chairman's point, some of the issues that we just addressed are probably not best addressed to the personnel committee. It sounds like the finance committee and governance committee are where some of these matters would rely. But given that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved and properly seconded. We are adjourned.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I call to order the Southern University Board of Supervisors meeting. Mr. President, roll call.
Attorney Tony Clayton.
Here.
Mr. Reggie Abraham.
Here.
Attorney Quincy Cawthorn. Mrs. Zell Dudley. Ms. Maple Gaines. Mr. Donald Ray Henry. Mr. Myron K. Lawson. Mr. Aaron Manzi. Mr. Chris Massengill. Mr. Paul Matthews. Attorney DeMorne Rutledge. Attorney Edwin Shorty. Mrs. Ann Smith. Reverend Dr. Samuel Tolbert. Dr. Ronnie Whitfield. Mr. Henry Whitehorn. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. President. We now move to item C, adoption of the agenda. I see Reverend Sam Talbot, second by Mr. Paul Matthews, to adopt the agenda as written. All in favor of that? Any opposition? Hearing no opposition, the agenda has now been adopted. Any public comments germane to anything on this agenda? Seeing no one come forward, we'll move to resolutions. Dr. Shakur.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With protocol having been established, the Southern University stands today in tribute and in support of the following families. Evelyn T. Bates, who passed away on February 8, 2026. Dr. Doris A. Davenport, who passed away on February 20th, 2026. Dr. Zita Muhammad, who passed away on March 2nd, 2026. Mary Ned, who passed away on March 6, 2026. Willie Bolden II, who passed away on March 5th, 2026. And Bobby Specs Ned, whose career as an educator spanned more than 4 decades with service at Southern University, Baton Rouge Community College, and later in life as a counselor with Visit Baton Rouge. She passed away on March 2nd, 2026. Our positive thoughts and deepest sympathies are with all who knew and cared for these individuals. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This concludes our time of reflection for the month of March 2026.
President, I ask that we add a commendation to Southern Lab basketball team and our college basketball team, commending them in form of resolution for their championships and the nursing school. We'll get the number one.
We'll make that adjustment.
All
Thank
in
you,
favor of that addition, say aye. Hearing no opposition, that passes. Next, I have item F1 and 2 action item. I'll entertain a motion to approve those in global. Moved by Mr. Matthews, second by Ms. Ann Smith. All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, we move on to item G, information. Report on Southern University branding and marketing. Dr. Robin Merritt. Thank you for adhering to the 3 minutes before you get up there, Doc.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, members of the board. This is a presentation that we were looking to make back in January that got actually moved to last month and then again today. So we're here to make it, but this is coming on behalf of committee chairman, Mr. Myron Lawson, our board member who had asked us about this some time ago to come and share with the board exactly what we were doing as it relates to branding, marketing, and opportunities to really strengthen our visibility throughout the entire Southern system. So it looks like I have access to the slide deck. Yes, I do. So the question we ask, and I'll make this as brief as we can, and I'll share the slide deck with you as well. If you have any questions, you're certainly able to call us afterwards and we'll be happy to answer. So in talking with Mr. Lawson and a few others of you who've inquired about this very subject over the last few months, why branding and marketing and why does it matter right now? So we recognize that strategic investment in branding and marketing really strengthens every aspect of the university. What we do system-wide is really about rising the tide really that lifts all boats. So we recognize that when we are putting forth the best about the university, it helps everyone, it helps everything. Our public awareness goes up, our reputation, recruiting for students, enrollment and retention, fundraising, athletics, visibility for sponsorships, all of this rises when our visibility is going forward. So we want to point out that branding is not just a cosmetic type thing that we do. It's not just sort of window dressing, but it's really about institutional strategy. And the institutions that are doing this are really making strides. So where we sit today, right now at Southern University, we've got some positive trends across the system. You all have heard just today alone, hearing our lab school students, hearing our students on the Baton Rouge campus. We've got success stories throughout the system. So we've got positive trends. Our enrollment is stabilized and growing on every campus. We have increased fundraising. Mr. Harrell will tell you that through the foundation. We have major capital investments going on. You heard Mr. Dawson talk about that. And of course, growing our national and regional visibility. That is happening. I heard someone say just a moment ago, when something is on social media, it is taking off. It goes viral. I think you all saw that Dawn Staley gifted our women's basketball team something. That post is taken off. It is everywhere. So we've got strong storytelling assets across our academic excellence, our student and alumni success, our research, of course, with the land grant impact in and of itself. And we are really culture bearers when it comes to HBCU culture, our legacy, and our history. So we've got lots of momentum right now, but we've got an opportunity for growth. So you may ask, what is that? I want to point out that last box at the bottom. Compared with our HBCU peers and institutions of similar size, we're competitive, but we are absolutely outspent in marketing and communications. And I really hate to follow this last conversation because we were just talking about where we need more funding, and this is yet another one of those areas. So our teams across the Southern system, we can point to strength, commitment, and capacity. We have some really incredible communications staffers across the entire Southern University system. Challenges, it's only a few of us. We don't have very many on any campus. And I know our chancellors would, I hope they would amen this point, that they would be happy to use more communications and marketing staffers on their campus to help with what they're doing. We know our teams are highly skilled. They are deeply committed to the work that they're doing, and they're producing really good results. Problem is they're undersized and they're often punching well above their weight. And we can really thank our staffs for all that they do. Like I said, they're exceptional. They have limited resources, but they're making things happen. And I've got to point out too that a lot of the work that our staffs do is really undergirded by our alumni and our supporters. Huge shout out to the alumni. Darren Dixon, thank you for what you do to support the messaging that goes across the system. And even all of our alums, wherever they are in the chapters across the country, they are really helping to get the messaging out about the university. And we're seeing that impact, especially over social media. So that brings us to social media and how it is one of our most powerful tools in our communications toolbox. We're on all of the major platforms, all of our official channels for the university system. We have a social media directory that we have shared with members of the board and others, so you can find out where all the official channels are, and our student channels, our alumni chapters all have sites as well over social media. And we know the power of social media. We can reach people in a matter of moments. We posted something the other day, a piece of good news, and in about 3 minutes, we had 882 likes in 3 minutes. So that's how fast social media moves. That's just one example. Last night when the women's basketball team won, social media was on fire because we beat Samford. So we were excited about that. Those are the kinds of things that we want to continue to promote. So social media at one time was a sort of an optional thing. People were afraid of it. They didn't really want to go after it as an institution, but we recognize it's no longer optional. It's something that we must have. It's central to part of our branding and our outreach. And we recognize it's high impact, high return on social media, and really low inputs when it comes to social media in terms of cost. And Chairman Clayton, you yourself have said often that, you know, you can take out a $25 ad on social media and reach thousands of people in a matter of minutes. And so we're really expanding on that work as well. So this is just a quick investing for impact, minimal investment, moderate investment, transformational investment. It's kind of obvious where that goes. Right now, we're kind of in that minimal state. We're hoping to grow this to moderate and ultimately get to transformational. Mr. Lawson has asked me time and again, you know, how much do you need? How much do you want? What can you make happen? So we put forth these budgets. Of course, we don't always get everything we ask for. We're not getting anything nearly what we asked for, but we are still putting forth the ask. So just so that you know, more dollars in, more outreach that we can make happen. And lastly, the bottom line, and I know I'm probably over the 3 minutes, branding and marketing investments are not expenses alone. Again, strategic drivers. It grows everything, our university's reputation. We'll see enrollment growth. We'll see revenue coming in. And of course, long-term institutional success. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time. And members of the board, thank you for your time. I'll be happy to answer any
The
questions.
importance of what you just said.
I'm sorry?
I don't want to push you. If you need some more, this is important, the branding and marketing piece. So thank you for that. But anything else you want to add to help educate us, to tell us what we need to do as a board to enhance this, let us know.
Funding. It seems to be the word of the day, funding. But I will argue that we talked about doing major branding campaigns, billboards, advertising, and those types of things. We advertise in airports. We've taken out billboards. Electronic billboards are less expensive now, but still costly. And we're doing this all across the state. So all of our campuses are supporting this effort in all of our areas across the state. And we're doing some things that we do need just a few more dollars to make happen. And I will add that the billboard costs have gone up, as well as our airport advertising. So we were once upon a time, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Shreveport. We were in those airports. We've kind of scaled that back a little bit because the airport advertising went up, and we do need dollars to support the airport advertising. And we're in baggage claim, by the way. That's where we've been putting our ads so that people are waiting for their luggage. They can see that we're there. And if you travel in any airport, you will see most universities are advertising in the airports.
Mr. Lawson has a question.
I think it's time that we utilize our foundation, utilize our alumni, certainly. My local chapter, I know, will contribute money, and I will contribute money to help promote our brand. But we need to campaign, and Mr. Dixon is doing a phenomenal job, as most of us are aware, with the alumni. But we are probably last in the game when it comes to systems and universities within the system to promote and brand us. It's embarrassing to me in my hometown when I see billboards from every other institution except Southern University system. And we talked about a lot of wonderful things that were going on today. And if you didn't watch this meeting, you're not going to know. So we need to find out, Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, system, what we need to do to get this money into her operation to promote, because now's the time. Graduation is in May. Kids are making decisions right now.
Yes, sir.
And we don't have, what do we have up? Asking kids to come to Southern right now,
Outreach through our admissions and recruiting offices.
which is
And
also
I think the
underfunded.
campuses, I won't speak entirely, but New Orleans
That's
is doing a
something.
lot with evening and weekend growth. Shreveport is doing quite a bit as well in their respective areas. So yes.
But all underfunded.
Oh, absolutely.
On Baton Rouge for Southern some time ago. Send me that production of whatever it is already, and there's a billboard at the foot of the bridge that we might be able to get a year on it. But send it to me, and I'll put it on there.
Thank you, sir. Done.
Yes, sir, Mr. Talbot, Dr. Talbot.
I know some of the older methods that we use. Sometimes we get away from them when we get to social media, but I think we need to have all of them. And one of the things that was very effective under Dr. Talbot, I thought, was to take the board on a state tour to various communities where we don't have campuses.
We'll do that. I remember we did that 20 some years ago. Yeah.
And but now social media could capture us in those communities and then have something for that community. They can do some free stuff about we coming. Because I remember as a city councilman securing the Lake Charles City Council chamber. It was packed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it advice. That's a good idea. That's just a great idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Talbot. We have not done that tour in quite some time. So yes, sir.
Anybody else have any questions for Dr. Mary?
Mr.
Branding and marketing?
Mr. Chairman, the Shreveport campus whispered too that, billboard in Shreveport will be helpful.
I don't know nobody who owns one in Shreveport. Why not? I mean,
That's what she said. She said, why not Shreveport? I said,
I can help you with the billboard in West Baton Rouge. So send it to me.
Yes,
I'll put it
sir.
up.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Next item, President McMeans, your report. And President McMeans, you are doing a great job. You're in Washington, D.C. twice. I mean, you're moving around. You're at the legislature. You're answering Reggie and I phone calls. I tell you, you even called me back. So good job. Your report.
First of all, before I start my report, I want to make sure I acknowledge. I want to acknowledge Vice Chancellor Dean Brown. You did receive ovations in Senate Finance and House Appropriations, so I want to make sure I acknowledge you. So let's give her another round of applause, her and her staff.
You just need an ovation for Pierre appropriation.
So yeah, so I don't want to get on wrong side of my fraternity, bro. You're looking kind of, he ain't looking right in the eyes right now, huh? I think I'm gonna keep this thing moving, but and to Reverend and Dr. Tolbert, that's quite timely what you asked, because I've been spending a lot of time with Mr. McClinton, and in fact we were together the past weekend. We spent time together, so we are going through the budget, and we have found out, and Chancellor Bowie is doing an outstanding job. I know I get on his nerves every now and then, but I love you, Unc. But I know you're doing great things down there, and I conveyed that to House Appropriation. Thank you for stepping in and making sure you explain the uniqueness of SUNO as it relates to where you're located. I have two. I had an opportunity to go to D.C. I was one of 12 presidents that were invited. Had a chance to meet with the executive director of White House initiatives on HBCUs, and also met with the sitting Secretary of Agriculture, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture. The executive director is going to plan a trip here in May to come see us. They want to visit our nursing program, engineering, the Ag Center, and talk about AI, ag technology, engineering, and some of the things that's actually going on at the Department of, I guess I have to, Department of War. I think that's the term right now. Yes, sir. I will make sure I do that. And one of the things we did come away with is the fact that they are now looking at building that $80 million research lab at Southern University, and I'm excited about that. We will have a follow-up on that. I asked them about Clayton Road. They hadn't got to that yet. That's in another department. So we are excited, and also the Secretary of Agriculture will receive an invite from me and my colleague at LSU to come down sometime this summer to visit both of the campuses.
Before you go to your last point, as you walk through the angles to go meet the secretary with those other 12 presidents, you were met by or greeted by somebody from Southern. Can you
So I walked through the door and found out what my why is. I walked through the door, and there was a young lady there, Kennedy Orr. Some of you all remember her. She was SGA president last year. She was standing there waiting on meet with a client, and she asked Donovan and I what we were doing here. We said we're meeting with your boss, and it was quite emotional. In fact, she works for the Foreign Ag Service, and those you know Daniel Whitley, he's always on the road, so she is literally running Foreign Ag Service at age 23. So that is very, very impressive. And I said to the other presidents, especially the one at FAMU, I said that's my why. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So and she graduated. She reminds everybody she graduated debt free because of the scholarship she received from USDA. And the secretary, she really did appreciate that. And lastly, we have been pretty active as it relates to the legislative session. Okay, thank you. So the legislative session, this is the first time in 7 years that in 1 week we met with the Speaker, the President of the Senate, the Chair of Finance for the Senate, and the Chair of House Appropriations in 2 days. So we are really covering a lot of ground. And next week we meet with Ways and Means, and then we'll also meet with the Rural Caucus, which I think is probably the largest caucus because so we're excited about that, and we are really pushing for money. And then lastly, thank you, Vice Chair. The 2026 Biennial Association of Research Directors, which I am co-chairing, will be meeting in New Orleans, March 28th through 31st. I think Dr. Taylor Durrell sent you this. I'm happy to say that we have over 1,000 oral and poster presentations from 19 HBCUs, and we're already at 1,800 individuals pre-registered. I will make sure you guys have the phone number of Mrs. Dixon. So whenever you want to come by, come through to watch our students or our faculty present or participate in some of the other functions, you can just call that number and we'll make sure that you get in and get your whatever's needed, your name tag, badge, or what have you. So we're really excited about that. And this also represents the 50th anniversary of the Association of Research Directors. So we're happy to be the host university. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Once again, you're doing a good job. Thank you. Chancellor report, starting with you, Dr. Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chair, President McMeans, and honorable members of the board. I've provided in the report a number of accomplishments for last month, but there are two I would like to highlight specifically. One has to do with the fact that our forensic science program, the only program in the state that offers a bachelor's degree in forensic science. We had 6 of our students that were accepted to present their research at the American Academy of Forensic Sciences. And that was a very special moment. And I just like to call their names out to get their names on the record because that was extremely significant and historical. Louis Burnett, Tristine Howell, Damon Raymond, Latavia Williams, Asala Lafayette, and Brittany Sylvester. That program is destined to be a game changer in the state of Louisiana because it's the only one that offers a bachelor's. It is so profound that when our students visited some forensic offices of sheriffs, they really didn't believe what our students were saying. So one of them surprisingly just showed up at the lab. And once they interacted with our students and saw the lab, they offered to the students jobs on the spot. And so I'm very happy for those students and the founder and chair of that, Dr. Thompson. The other highlight I want to bring to your attention is the fact that our men's basketball team was the HBCU Athletic Conference champions, which allowed us to go to the NIA National. Unfortunately, in the first round, we lost to the #1 seed, but we beat the #1 seed for the conference. So I'm very proud of those young men and their coaches. But if you had heard the interview that the team got, some of the members after the championship, they talked about that had it not been for Suno and those coaches that literally saved their lives, folk had actually given up on those young men. And now they are not only student athletes, but they have actually, and we turned the basketball record around. We were 1-4 starting out and actually end up winning that conference championship. So I just wanted to highlight that for you this morning. Thank you.
Chancellor, I got a text from Chancellor Washington, but I think the two of you have collaborated on a venture that I think has begun under your tutelage. Talk about that, and I think it will have a profound effect. And I'm talking about the evening program or whatever.
Weekend and evening conference.
Has it begun, or what's? Well, I'll wait till I get to Alvin. Maybe you don't know. I thought you sent me a text that y'all had 2 classes going on down there.
Actually, Chancellor Washington added 3rd for this semester, so we're offering 3 this time.
Well, look, that's great, and I think that's going to grow exponentially. So I'm proud of you and the law school chancellor for that. Are you done?
Yes, sir, I'm done. Thank you.
How you doing, my favorite chancellor?
Good morning, Chairman Clayton, Vice Chairman Abraham, and members of this esteemed board. I have a few highlights that I would like to share this morning as it relates to things that's happening at Southern University Shreveport. The first one is our Federal Mentor Protege Program with the Department of Defense. We are excited about this program we have where we are actually working with defense contractors through our Small Business Development Program. And we are partnering individuals with financial and technical program and skills to support this program through certifications. Through the DoD, the Mentor Protege Federal Contract, Southern University generated $219,000 to work toward, to actually move toward our student experience and to improve our student experience. I'm happy to report with our re-entry program with Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office, we offered our first course March 10th through the 12th, where we had approximately 15 students participating in a health, safety, and environmental training. And so that program is off to a good start. We're really excited about what's happening there. I want to mention student highlights, and I'll be brief with this, but I definitely want to share because Sheriff Whitehorn mentioned this earlier. But I want to add that Southern University at Shreveport is proud to announce that its men's basketball team has claimed the 2025-26 Louisiana Community College Athletic Conference Championship title. Our new coach, Coach Rodney Broughton, is also the LCCAC Conference Coach of the Year. And as we mentioned a few students' names, we have a co-player of the year, Tayshawn Gilchrist, all-conference Tayshawn Gilchrist, Andrew Thomas, Calvin Benego, as well as all-defensive team, Josh Stevens. And so I'm really proud of those students. Hopefully when you are in Shreveport next month, you'll have the opportunity to meet our basketball team, our champions. Also, one last thing, we're excited about hosting the April board meeting in Shreveport. I believe you arrive on Thursday. We have a reception plan, board meeting on Friday, but we also have our Blue and Gold Time of Day Scholarship fundraiser. And we are asking, if your schedule permit, please stay over on Saturday. I do not believe you will regret being in Shreveport. This is an opportunity for us to bring together alumni, community partners, and supporters just for an afternoon fellowship and philanthropy through support of our student scholarships. And so we're really excited. We have outstanding entertainment lined up as we work diligently to raise dollars for scholarships at Southern University at Shreveport. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Dr. Walker, if you keep this thing going, you tell me the Ag Center's got a basketball team, I'm going to be shocked. Go with your report, Doc.
All right. To the honorable, how you turn this? Oh, to the honorable Chair Tony Clayton, Vice Chair Abraham, and of course Interim President Orlando Fitzgerald McMeans. I know his middle name, as well as Chancellor
From Theodore, Alabama.
Yes. I want to kind of throw this away because the president said most of this, but we have a few things that I'd like to add. Next week, Dr. Renita Marshall will be again putting on our Ag Day on the Buff. They're expected 700 kids, grades K through 12.
On that thing.
Within a 75-mile radius. And this is the national day that we celebrate ag. Also, the last week of this month, the Association of Research Directors in New Orleans will be held. And Chancellor McMeans, Interim President McMeans will be the chair of that, and Southern University is the host. So that should be some good thing. We're looking at 38 students, 44 faculty members, and a host of students, graduates and undergraduates, giving oral and written presentations. Yesterday, President McMeans and his executive team, we hosted Dr. Felicia Nave. She was here all day. Dr. Marlon Ford and I picked her up from 9:30 at the hotel and with her until she left, about 4. Chancellor McMean and the executive team, we put on a good show of things, and she was so impressed. And she said that she wanted to come back for the ribbon cutting of the Vineyard and Enology Center. So it shows that she have a taste for the vino. Also, we have had several elected officials on both sides of the aisle when the Experiment Station Road is completed. It's a mile road. It will be finished in the next 80 days. Chancellor McMean have alluded to that. Senator Womack have provided those funds for us a couple of years ago. So we're excited that within 80 days, we will have a new road at the Experiment Station. Interim President McMeans and Chancellor McMeans, he will be making presentations this month at the Senate Ag Committee and the Senate House Ag Committee. And we also have an invitation this month, next Tuesday, at the Rural Caucus. Chancellor McMean will be given 10 to 15 minutes to talk about agriculture. And the Rural Caucus is the second largest caucus in the legislature. And Chancellor McMean has been going there along with his team for the last, 3 years, I believe. And also, he don't know about it yet, during the HBCU day, I did ask the GOP caucus that we want to come there too, that you want to come there too, and they're working on that too for agriculture. And that is the largest caucus in the legislature. Also, I would like to say kudos go to Dr. Donovan Segura for his leadership in helping us navigate our civil rights compliance. For the fiscal year 2024 for the Southern University Research and Extension Center and Experiment Station. And he got word, along with the president, that we was one of the first ones that had no dings as far as anything was inappropriate in our civil rights. And that give us coverage until 2023. So Dr. Segura, we appreciate your steadfastness in helping the VCs, Marshall, Franklin, Bagley, navigate that. So again, a lot of good things in the Ag Center, and this concludes the Ag Center report.
We can abbreviate and call it the McMeans report because you call this name more than Kellogg's got cornflakes. So you rubbing up to Chancellor McMeans. Incredible. You got the job, okay? So, Chancellor Washington, anything about McMeans you want to say before
I'd like to say,
okay.
I was about to say that the things we have to do around here. Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board, Mr. President, we are offering 3 courses in New Orleans this summer. We met with the students from New Orleans to determine what courses they needed. And so we have a professional responsibility course, a Louisiana Civil Procedure course, and a conflicts of law course that we're offering in the evenings this summer. So we will continue to offer courses down there depending on the needs of our current students. And we plan to market that. We think that's going to put us in a better position to recruit students from New Orleans when they know that they don't have to commute back and forth to Baton Rouge every day, that they can take some of their courses, particularly in the summer, in New Orleans. And we've also been in discussions with the interim president in Lafayette about doing the same thing in the Lafayette area. So thank you, Mr. Attorney, Board Member Quincy Cawthorn, for that. We have also been telling our story at the law school, and as a result, the National Jurist magazine has named SULC as a top law school for social justice. Howard University ranked number 1, City University of New York School of Law ranked 2nd, Law School ranked 3rd, the University of Miami Law School ranked 4th. And we have also been recognized by another national magazine. The Pre-Law magazine has listed SULC as a top law school for public service. We have 9 outstanding clinics and a newly revised Louis A. Berry Civil Rights Institute. And so we are going to continue to tell our story. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Your report.
Thank you, Chairman Clayton. One thing I would like to mention, in collaboration with the Law Center, we have an excellent exhibition at the Tarver Center about exonerated individuals who have. It's really a beautiful display, and we can attribute that to the work of Professor Angela Bell and her work with non-unanimous jury. And I believe Mrs. Gaines had a chance to see that yesterday, and it's a beautiful display. So again, we're doing all the right things with respect to social justice. Tomorrow is a wonderful day for Honors College because they're going to be signing up lots of students that want to be coming to Southern University and Honors College, followed by the next Saturday, where we're going to have, again, an academic signing day for our students at Southern University, along with our academic homecoming. SEAS is wonderfully promoting what we're doing in engineering. They're going to have a golf tournament and a gathering of all alums on that weekend coming up, and this will be really working well with the ARD sessions. The other piece that I guess I want to talk to you about is obviously we are seeing great progress in our numbers. Our Honors College numbers are moving. The number of students that we have that are really producing what I call the kinds of outcomes that we really want, that's really growing. So we're seeing a lot of different things. And of course, right after this board meeting, we will have the ribbon cutting for that outdoor classroom in the shape of the bell. And the bell is symbolic because when Josiah Clark came to this location, he kept the bell that our ancestors rang each and every day to start that day. And that bell sits in the John B. Cade Library. And that is such a significant thing that we always must remember as part of the history of Southern University.
I was about to tell you about that bell. The bell is on the 3rd floor, I think, in a box.
It's actually on the 1st floor.
You moved it?
Yes, sir.
So
it is.
Can we think about moving it to that bell and display it? And
we'll
I think it would be nice. But okay. I know, Robin, they're waiting. The media's waiting on us for the ribbon cutting. So that concludes your report?
Yes, sir.
Alumni Director? Thank you for your report.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Very quickly, I'm proud to announce, just a week ago, we had a check presentation with Pelican State Bank in a program that we do, affinity program with debit cards, where they have Southern Card alumni and our athletics. Well, last year we raised over 46 million, not million, thousand. I wish it was million. $46,000 that they brought us a check last week in that program, and already now we're pacing to eclipse that number next year at probably around 60,000. We also have been meeting with past presidents of the alumni. As you know, this represents our 85th year of the organization, and that group of individuals that have served as president of the alumni nationally are getting together and starting a campaign to raise $85,000 in recognition of that, along with a celebration that we plan in early September. There'll be more information coming out about that to recognize that. Want to let you know that I've set up room blocks already in Birmingham for the game in August, and also in Houston for the University of Houston game. There'll be information coming out about that soon. And no, Mr. Chairman, they won't be like the ones in Lake
The
Charles.
Motel 6 where you had us at. So.
Yeah. And finally, I want to keep emphasizing that in July 23rd and 26th, we'll be in Dallas for the National Alumni Conference. I really appreciate if you all would consider joining us there. And it's our chancellors are on program to share their information about the state of their campuses at that event, as well as the president. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Can you give us a quick update on the presidential search? I see where y'all hired somebody and they've begun the work.
We actually have Dr. Robert Merrick is going to come forward and give us a quick report.
Thanks for the 2 minutes you're about to share with us, Dr. Merrick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, members of the board, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President. Just a little bit, we shared earlier that the search firm has been identified. You met with TM Squared this morning. Dr. Amanda Washington Lockett and her team were here to share a little bit about the work that they've done so far. But I think most of you are aware that the board did identify a 17-member search committee back in January that has started working. They've met twice so far. And then TM Squared has come in, and most importantly, over the last 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, the search firm has been to all of the campuses and meeting with constituent groups on each of those campuses. So that's faculty, staff, students, alumni, and the community. And on yesterday, held a full day of virtual sessions with those same groups across the entire system. So we've counted up the numbers of persons that have participated, and we are right at about 350 constituents that this search firm has touched so far in terms of getting feedback and input around the presidential search. The committee and the search firm have taken to heart the words that Chairman Clayton shared in his charge, that he wants to be certain that this search is transparent and inclusive throughout the process. So the search committee is scheduled to meet again on April 9th, and we'll have more updates as things proceed.
Thank you, Madam Dr. Merrick. Board colleagues, this has been a great meeting. Any other business? Hearing none, seeing nothing, I'll entertain a motion from Mr. Matthews, second by Reverend Tarver to adjourn. All in favor?